Hello, everyone. Ari Bluestein here, the CEO and executive producer of the Sports Fanbase Network, and welcome to another edition of SFBN Classics. So we stick with football today, and previously we've shown you Catholic League, and we showed you Public versus Catholic with Imhotep versus LaSalle, but today we get into a Public League playoff game from 2014 that was really a good one between Ben Franklin and Simon Gratz, and this was at the 4A classification back when there were only 4 classifications, so this was the highest level, and both Franklin and Gratz were really having great years. And Ben Franklin had a great quarterback by the name of Kevin Caldwell. They had a high-powered offense. They knocked off teams like Northeast and Frankfurt, who were very good teams at the 4A level at the time. And this was just an exciting game. And Franklin goes on to win, and it was certainly a memorable game. And in fact, we had a request for this game from one of our viewers here on SFBN Classics, so we certainly thank you for that request. This was a great game back from November 2015. I had the call with Eric Clark, who is now the head coach at Northeast High School. So it's a great one, and enjoy the game.
Welcome to Northeast High School, the site of the 3A and 4A Public League Championships. I'm Ari Bluestein, my partner today, Northeast High School Defensive Coordinator Eric Clark. Thanks for coming on the broadcast today.
Thanks for having me. Thank you.
Well, the 3A game was a little bit ugly. Imhotep handles West 62-0, but this game right here, the 4A game, Eric, you played in 4A this year with coaching Northeast. This should be a good one between Simon Gratz High School and Ben Franklin High School, both teams in 4A for the first time.
Yes, both of these teams did really well the last few years in 3A. Very well coached teams. Looking forward to a really good game today.
So I know you've got some keys to the game. You got a chance to see both of these teams up close and personal. Unfortunately, they took down your Vikings this year. So let's talk about Gratz. You lost to them in the quarterfinals. What are the keys for the Bulldogs to win today?
Right. Unfortunately, my Vikings, came up a little short against both. For Gratz, offensive key is to control the game running the ball. They have a really good, solid run game. Quarterback does a great job managing the game. So play action will be a great thing for them, taking a few shots on, second and short, third and short, if they're able to get in, short down and distance. For defensive key is to get some passion up on that quarterback, all right? There's a few times that, Franklin did struggle. They didn't struggle much all season, but the few times they struggled, it was when those defensive ends were able to climb up and put some pressure in Caldwell's face.
Yeah, now, Franklin, you mentioned Caldwell, Kevin Caldwell, over 2,200 passing yards coming into today. Ben Franklin, they haven't lost all year. First place in your division, the Independence Division. I know they like to spread it out. What's the keys for the Electrons to win today?
That's exactly the key. 2 tackles, Troy Conyers and Taj Clear, to keep Caldwell clean in that passing attack. He gets rid of the ball pretty fast. He goes deep, short, run a lot of good mesh routes. He spreads the ball out, really well. So the key is for those 2 tackles and the rest of that great offensive line to keep him clean. A defensive key is also is to, not for those defensive backs not to fall asleep. Gratz does a great job running the ball, so they have to stay awake. That play action is coming. If they're able to, stay awake, they should be able to come out with a big win.
Well, it should be a pretty good game here. Ben Franklin versus Simon Gratz coming up next here on the Sports Fanbase Network, presented by Payroll Service Solutions. The winner is the 4A Public League champion. Stay tuned.
Fan-Based Network, presented by Payroll Service Solutions.
We are about ready to go. Simon Gratz in the home white jerseys with the red stripes. Ben Franklin on the far side of the field with the gray silver jerseys, I should say, with the yellow lettering and the yellow helmets. Ari Bluestein, Eric Clark with you on the Sports Fan-Based Network, presented by Payroll Service Solutions, and also today presented by the School District of Philadelphia Office of Athletics. We want to thank Robert Coleman for setting us up here at Northeast High. Eric, as we just talked about, this is going to be a pretty good game, and it's two different teams that want to do different things, and I think really it's going to be who can execute their strategy the best. I think that will win this game.
Yes, thinking about the two different styles, like you say, thinking about college football, it's like Baylor versus Stanford. One team wants to run the ball more in the I formation. The other team wants to spread it out and sling the ball all over the place. Both teams pretty excited and pumped, excited for a good championship game.
Well, Franklin won the toss, and they will receive. Peter Gerba will kick it off for the Simon Gratz Bulldogs. You see him, number 88, on your screen right now. As we mentioned, the 3A game earlier today, Imhotep defeating West Philly 62-0, and they will likely play Archbishop Wood in the city title game next week. In 4A, this is the game right here in the Public League. St. Joe's beat LaSalle 46-13, so the Prep will play the winner of this game here today, back here at Northeast next Saturday at 3:30. There we go. Gerba kicks it off. It's a squibber, and it's going to go out of bounds at around the 45. And Eric, you faced off against Gratz and Coach Eric Cepay. Is that something that Gratz likes to do a lot?
Yes, just watching them through the season, also against us, they didn't pretty much kick it too deep. So I think they're trying to squib it, get into that coffin corner kick just to get their coverage down. And right there, it didn't work for them. But let's see what they do with the rest of this game.
Well, Brent Franklin, the offense takes the field. We'll take a look at their offensive starters in just a few moments. Kevin Caldwell is the quarterback, number 12. You're going to see him work out of the shotgun a lot here today, spreading it out. 4 receivers for the Electrons. Caldwell looking to pass on the first play. It's a screen, and it's to the running back, number 2, Jaimir Tony. First down, more down the far side, and he gets down inside Gratz territory to about the 37-yard line. Great first play for the Electrons.
Great first play. The Gratz is very aggressive, as you should on the first play. That's a great call to open the game up. If the pressure come in, dumped it right over his head.
The offensive line for Ben Franklin: Conyers, Steve Ashley Barkley, Deion Jones, Julian Montgomery, and Taj Clea. And then Caldwell's the quarterback. Tony and Dennis are the running backs. Buffalo, James, and Rafael Rodriguez are the receivers. 1st and 10 after a gain of about 19 yards. And here's a run. This is also to Tony, and he got tripped up. But I'll tell you what, Eric, if he didn't get tripped up, he was going for a long time.
Hey, he still might be running, so that was a great ankle tackle that might have saved Gratz right now on that play.
Here's the Gratz defense: Kenneth Bennett, Javon Whitfield, Sean Williams, Byron Williams. They are the defensive backs back in the secondary for the Gratz. Second down and about 6. Shotgun, Caldwell back to pass, going deep down the far sideline. It's a jump ball, and it's, caught for a moment, but I believe they're going to rule it incomplete. And that was intended for Franklin's number 15, Javier Buffalo. So that'll be 3rd down and 5 after the incompletion. Again, the Electrons spreading it out. Single back, and it looks like they have 4 wide receivers, 2 to each side. Caldwell's got time. Quick out, and it is complete to number 7, Rafael Rodriguez, and that's another Electron first down. So a nice sharp pass right there by Caldwell.
Yes, they're being very aggressive just to start this game. That was a big 3rd down conversion to keep the chains moving, threatening to score, trying to set the tone for this game.
11-yard completion to Rodriguez. First and 10 for Franklin. They're looking to strike first here in this Public League 4A championship game. Caldwell Bubble screen. And nice move by number 11, Rasheem James. And he is yanked down by number 17, Nick Green, here on the near sideline, but a nice pickup of about 8.
The quick game is working right now for Ben Franklin. We're in the red zone, so, I'm guessing that Gratz will start tightening their defense up. Maybe play a little more man, play a little more press, get that ball out quicker.
Second down and 3. Handoff inside to Tony. Spins away from a couple of tacklers. Finally brought down. That's Sean Williams, number 5, on the tackle. About maybe a yard shy of the first down right there.
That was a tough run. Looked like it could have been a loss or maybe right back to the line of scrimmage, putting themselves in a position for a manageable 3rd and 1.
Third and 1. And we've got penalty flags. That might be on Franklin for some movement. So they call it neutral zone infraction. I guess offsides there on Ben Franklin. Oh, wait, no, did they point the wrong? Oh, I see. They called offsides, but they pointed towards Franklin, right? But that's offsides on Gratz.
Yes, it is.
So that's going to give Franklin an automatic first down. Not a great play right there by the Bulldogs.
Not at all. You're giving them first down in the red zone. Anytime you give these guys, actually, it's back third. It's still third down. It's actually against Ben Franklin.
Okay, it is against Ben Franklin because at first, see the chain gang, I think they're a little confused down there.
We're all figuring it out.
So it is on Franklin. It's strange to call an offsides on the offense. Usually it's a false start.
Exactly.
All right, so make it 3rd down and 6. Caldwell. The handoff inside, that's Tony.
Another tough run. He'll be close. I think he got it.
Yeah, it looks like he got it. That's going to set up, I believe, the ball spotted right outside the 10, so it'll be 1st and 10 from just outside the 10-yard line. Tony's been pretty productive. 2 carries, 11 yards, and 1 catch for 19 yards so far.
Yes, he has. He's running the ball really tough, keeping the shoulder pad level down, running hard.
Shotgun, Caldwell, back to pass again. He's going deep to the end zone. It's incomplete, but we got a flag. Might be some defensive holding right there on the route because that was way overthrown, intended for number 7, Rafael Rodriguez.
Looks like it when a flag's thrown in that area. It's not too much that could be called, unless it's offensive pass interference, which they're trying to call a little more nowadays.
Yeah, they call a lot of those and defensive holdings in the NFL, that's for sure.
You know it.
Pass interference on Gratz. That will be an automatic first down. So move it about half the distance to the goal there, up to about the 6-yard line. So Gratz, they set themselves up here, 1st and goal from the 5-yard line. Franklin has a chance to score first. Play action, and that was intended for Buffalo, incomplete, broken up by number 1, Kenneth Bennett. Looked like he grabbed a little bit of Buffalo's shoulder right there, but I think that was a good defensive play overall.
Yeah, it's very close. Actually, good timing. Trying to tighten down a little bit in the red zone. Looking for a big stop down here for Gratz.
Right, and now you're a former defensive back, so I'm sure you would give the DB the benefit of the doubt there on that play.
I'm rooting for both defenses right here today. I love to see a 3-0 game, which I'm sure with both of these offenses probably won't happen.
No, I don't think so. Handoff to Tony, I believe. Takes it forward to about the 2. So that'll set up 3rd and goal.
That kid's falling forward every time he catches the ball. I don't think Frankfurt had a negative play yet outside of the one offsides. All positive plays moving the ball.
Let's see where Franklin goes to here. They've given it to Tony. Caldwell obviously likes to throw the ball. They're spreading it out a little bit. All the way down at the bottom of your screen is Rasheem James. And a timeout is called on the field by Ben Franklin. So we're going to step away real quick here on SFBN. Big third down and goal play coming up next here on the Sports Fan Base Network, presented by Payroll Service Solutions. Welcome back. Ari Bluestein, Eric Clark with you on SFBN. Third down and goal following the Franklin timeout. And Gratz stuffs the run right there. And I guess Franklin tried to catch him off guard by running it up the middle with Tony. But now we've got a big fourth down decision here. I don't think either team has kicked any field goals this year.
None, not at all from my understanding. They tried to quick snap it, and Gratz was right on point. They were alert and ready. This is a big play. This could possibly be a big play for this whole entire game if they can get a stop down here.
Yeah, obviously if Gratz gets a stop, they get the momentum. Franklin gets the score. They've got the first score of the game, obviously. They've got trips bunch out to the far side, which is actually the short side. And this is a wildcat play, and diving for the touchdown is number 7, Rafael Rodriguez. How about that play call?
Hey, I've seen that play a few times. Whenever he's in there, he hasn't attempted one pass. I'm thinking wildcat every single time he's at that quarterback position.
I didn't even realize Caldwell was out of the game until they snapped the ball. Well, all of a sudden I was like, that's Rodriguez. And he's going forward, and he's in. And now in for the extra point is Ismaila Saka. He has 26 extra points on the year. The held by Javier Buffalo. The kick is up. And it is through. So the extra point is good, and Ben Franklin is on the board first. And, Eric, in this type of game, how important is it to get on the board first?
Hey, to get on the board first means a whole lot. Now the momentum is going. They actually chewed up a nice bit of that clock while they put up the first score of the game. So, everything is, next is how Gratz will respond and rebound with their first series up.
So Simon Gratz, they will get their first possession, and we'll get our first look at quarterback Musa Aslamani. Sorry. I'm going to get that. I got to practice with that. Asulamani, got it.
Very good quarterback, great decision maker, and he'll have his turn up to match Caldwell's first scoring drive.
You're watching the Public League 4A Championship. And Franklin is off to a good start. Saka will kick it off. Short. And taken on a bounce by Simon Gratz. Some room to run. Nice moves.
Good return. Both teams with excellent start and field position for their first drive. Let's see what Gratz do with their first drive.
Let's take a look at the Gratz offense. The starting offensive line, Charlie Timeout, Jordan Chambers, Raquan Thomas, Clifton Marini, and Cameron Brown. Musa Alasamani. Chris Rowan is the fullback. Luke White, Sean Williams, Amir Lewis, all running backs, and C.J. Hall is the wide receiver. But really, Gratz, all those guys are very versatile players. They can run the ball and catch the ball.
Yes, they can. They have some very good athletes out there and a big, big junior offensive line out there.
Musa Suleimani under center. We've got some movement.
I see Ben Franklin's crowding that line of scrimmage right away. I think they're trying to set the tone.
See what the official says right here, right in your screen. And they've got the false start on Simon Gratz, so push him back 5 yards. And now Suleimani will go to work.
That's a tough way to start the drive. Gratz is a team that, wants to get 4 to 5 yards a pop. So, they're not going to throw the ball 25 times like the Ben Franklin team. So
right. Yeah, that's what I said, contrasting styles.
Very different.
Under center, Suleimani. He's looking to pass. Nice move. Going forward is number 4. That's Javon Whitfield. So he gains a few, gets almost back to the original line of scrimmage.
Great first play. Try to get some of that penalty back.
Taj Klee, Keon McLeod-Holman, and Dymere Jones are front 3. Ben Franklin in a 3-4 with Jameer Williams, Ed Dennis, Brian Harvey. Look out for him to make some plays. And Nifis Ewell. And then in the secondary, Corian Carlisle, Kaim Edgefield, Jaquan Carlisle, and Devon Thompson are the safeties. Second down and 13 after the gain of 2. And here's a run. Oh, the ball's on the ground. I think Simon Gratz was able to get it back, but let's see.
I tell you this much. I see all 11 hats around that ball for the Electrons. They're running to the ball. Good things happen.
It looks like Gratz will keep it. And I believe on the run right there was number 5, Sean Williams. And he gets to about the 36-yard line. Makes it a manageable third down. Let's see what they do. Do you think Asuleimani will throw the ball here?
Yeah, more third and long. They just like now. They tend to try to get into a little bit of a spread. Traditionally, they like to look more like a pro look. But 3rd and 6, 7 and long, you got to put it in the air.
Well, they have trips to the far side. Suleimani avoiding the rush, and he goes down. 3 Franklin players take him down to the ground. Led by number 44, we just mentioned him, Brian Harvey, one of the top defenders for this Electron team.
That kid is a really good hitter. In our game, he had a couple really good shots. Great field tackle, and definitely can drop the boom in the box as well.
So 3 and out for Gratz on their first possession. And Peter Gerba back in to punt it away for Gratz. And it looks like number 11, Rasheem James, back to receive this punt for the Electrons. Gerba, line drive punt's got some distance. James catches it around the 35. Oh, we've got a flag. Whatever return he has now is going to come back. I believe that's going to be an illegal block in the back, all the way back where he received it around the 35. I think Jaime Tony might have been the guilty party for the Electrons.
Got to see that jersey in the front. Got to get all the way in front. It was pretty close, though.
Illegal block in the back is the call, so not great field position for Franklin, as opposed to last drive where they start all the way up at their own 45.
Looking to see what type of adjustments Gratz defense made after that first drive. See if they can string together 3 consecutive stops to put this team into a punting situation.
So they will start at their own 25, but the way Franklin moved the ball in their first drive, I don't think they have any doubt that they can move the ball here starting at their own 25.
I was thinking the same thing. When I saw the ball down in the red zone, I said it almost strickens their playbook down a little bit.
Caldwell with the pitch. Got some blockers in front, going to the outside edge, and he's tackled out of bounds by number 4, Javon Whitfield. So a nice play by Gratz, as well as number 2, Nick Brown was in there. Really did a good job of sealing that outside edge.
Yes, he did. Used the wide side of the field to their advantage. This kid is running really, really tough, and they're doing a little bit more running than expected, and that's able for them to control the clock. It's already 4:20 in the first.
Gain of 4 on the play for Jaime Tony, 2nd and 6 for the Electrons of Ben Franklin High School. And again, the winner of this game will take on St. Joseph's Prep in the City 4A title right here at Northeast next Saturday at 3:30 p.m. on the Comcast Network. Again, pistol formation, 4 receivers, 2 to each side. Caldwell back to pass. He's going deep down the near sideline, and it is complete. Nice catch by number 11, Rasheem James. Really down the sideline, and that time Caldwell really aired it out.
Beautiful ball out on the outside shoulder. So if his receiver doesn't catch it, it's right out of bounds. This kid really puts that ball where it needs to be. Also, that was a great route as well.
38 yards on the completion. The second catch of the game for James.
Got to have a short memory out there as a D-back. It's coming again.
Again, spreading it out, 4 receivers. Ed Dennis is the lone setback this time. Caldwell going deep. He's got a man, and it is complete. And going in for the touchdown is Javier Buffalo on the far side, a 33-yard touchdown.
Another beautiful ball went from the right side to the left. He doesn't have many places where every place on the field is a comfort zone for them, as you see on that last play.
13-0 in Franklin with 2 quick scores has shown that it doesn't matter what they do, that Caldwell is going to be able to throw against this Gratz secondary right now. And I think Coach Eric Zapay, he's got to make some adjustments to try and slow down this Electron team.
Hey, I hope it's not too late, but you got to figure something out, figure something out fast. All 4 of those receivers have a bunch of receptions, over 25. They all can go the distance.
And the kick is up, and it is good by Ismailia Saka. 14-0. Ben Franklin getting out in front quickly here in quarter number 1. And if you're Gratz, they went 3 and out on the last drive. But I think even if they don't score, they've got to try and move on this Franklin defense a little bit.
Hey, right now in this situation, 2 first downs. Even just like you say, even if you don't score, 2 first downs, keep that offense off the field.
Right.
Give your defense a chance to catch your breath. There's a few of those guys that's not going both ways that can definitely use a breather right now and get coached up on the sideline to see how they can defend this passing attack. They have to figure it out fast, or this game's going to get out of hand.
I think really the key is, and we kind of talked about it, they like to run the ball, and they'll do that little play action on you. But time of possession is key for the Bulldogs, especially keeping Kevin Caldwell off the field.
Yes, that was one of my keys to the game. And, that opening offsides, I think, set them back from what they really wanted to do. But we'll see if they can get that going right now.
Short kick. Taking by Gratz. Got some running room. Nice job. Down the near sideline, and there you go. Nice play. Gratz, that's Sean Williams.
Just what Gratz needed. The crowd is excited. Let's see if they can move this ball down. Like I said, they're already starting in Franklin's territory. 2 first downs might actually get them in scoring zone.
And with the Bulldogs kind of feeling down, Caldwell throwing 2 deep balls on them, down 14-0 in the championship, that's the kind of play that gets you back into it.
Sometimes all it takes is one play. Excite your crowd, excite your teammates,
First down and 10.
And that I formation set, the wing.
Asulamani under center. Handoff. Not really going a lot anywhere. That's Luke White on the carry. Got back to the line of scrimmage, 2nd and 10. Well, we'll see if Coach Zapay and Musa Asulamani, they kind of set this and then they air it out a little bit because they do have some guys who can catch the ball.
Yes, they do.
Yeah, you have Amir Lewis, Luke White, C.J. Hall, Sean Williams.
After seeing inside dive, power, then you pull that out and play action, it can lull some safeties and corners to sleep. So right now they're spreading it out a little bit. I think they're
and Franklin looks like they're loading the box a little bit. They've got about 8 men up front. There's a handoff to Williams trying to get to the outside, being chased by Harvey. He's trying to reverse field, goes backwards.
Look how many hats around the ball. This team really can fly. Williams
really had nowhere to go right there.
A lot of team speed on this defense right here.
It'll be 3rd and 11, loss of 1 when it's all said and done. And I feel like at this point, Asulamani will have to throw the ball.
Have to chuck it up right here. After that big return, this Franklin defense really put together a few good plays, putting them into a 3rd and long where they have to throw the ball.
Now here's a question for you. Do you set up a play that gets you maybe 6, 7, 8 yards, and then it's 4 down territory at that point?
I think Ben Franklin's going to try to get after him, so a screen will be good. But just like you said, where they are on the field, this is almost 2 down territory.
Yep.
Too long for a field goal and kind of short for a punt.
Shotgun. We've got a flag on the play. Asulamani's airing it out, and it is incomplete, just slightly overthrown, intended for Sean Williams. But to see what the flag is all about, I think they did it towards Gratz. Illegal shift.
It looked like some people down at the bottom of the screen were moving a little fast, or moving at the same time, I should say.
Let's see what Franklin decides to do. It looks like they are going to decline it. So that'll set up 4th and 11 after that great return. So does Gratz go for it here on 4th and 11. It looks like they're keeping the offense on the field. There you go. You see a Suleimani coming back on the field now.
Hey, it's a tough decision. Look at the time on the clock. Still a lot of time left. You know, turnover on downs right here is giving the Electrons great field position. Let's see what they do with this 4th and long.
Well, here's another big play early on as we're under 2 minutes now in quarter number 1. Gratz, they've got the ball. Big 4th down, already down by 2 scores. Luke White's in motion. Suleimani back to pass. He's going deep. He airs it out, and it is complete. We've got a flag. The official decided not to throw it. Now let's see. Is it going to be offensive pass interference? That was C.J. Hall on the catch.
That was a great conversion. Let's see if it's offense or defensive pass interference. Now, this is a big call by these officials right here that could change this game.
Yeah, now if this play stands, which it looks like it could, this will be – they're going to call it on pass interference on Franklin. So the catch stands. That's going to be our In Good Hands catch of the game. In Good Hands Massage Therapy in Historic Caparo has been voted as the best massage in Montgomery County. Gift certificates are available and a special new client price of $49 for an hour massage if you mention SFBN. So C.J. Hall with our In Good Hands catch of the game on a huge 4th down and 11 play.
That was a gutsy call right there on 4th and 11 or 12 right there and converting that. Let's see if they turn this into some points.
Well, Suleimani really just aired it out, just hoping that his receiver would make a play, and he definitely did.
He took a tough shot, and he stood right in that pocket and threw a beautiful ball.
Luke White in motion again. Play action. Suleimani's going to keep it to the outside, and he's going to get the 1st down, but we've got a late flag coming in. That could be against Gratz, but let's see what the call is. But that was a nice athletic quarterback keeper right there by Suleimani.
That's something different he kept in his back pocket for the championship game. Haven't seen a lot of that all season.
Oh, it's a hold against Gratz, so that's going to come back. Yeah, Suleimani on the year, 48 carries, 129 yards, 2 touchdowns. So under 3 yards a carry right there. So, yeah, he hasn't really done a lot. There's Musa Suleimani right there. And great run, but it's negated by the hold.
Right. And I would say probably, I'm not sure how many of them were actually designed run plays for him. That might have been scrambling around. Or you know, even possibly getting sacked. They like to hand the ball off to the running backs and have him throw the ball.
Well, what could have set them up into 1st and goal, now they are 1st and 20 from the Franklin Electron 30-yard line. Inside handoff to Luke White up the gut. He's got some room. He's got a path to the end zone. Touchdown, Simon Gratz. Luke White with a 30-yard touchdown run.
Big play for the Simon Gratz Bulldogs. Gets them back in the game, kind of calms things down a little bit for a second here. Stop the bleeding.
I think that's a great call there on 1st and 20 because you might expect them to maybe do a pass or a bubble screen. But right there, Luke White up the gut. Another touchdown for him. His 9th rushing touchdown of the season.
Excellent run and even better blocking up front by the big offensive line of Gratz.
Once he got past that 2nd level, Eric, he was gone.
He was gone.
Gerba with the extra point, and it is no good. So that could come back to hurt, although you're still 1 score down with a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. But that's huge because that gets Gratz at least back in the game.
Yes, it is. That gets Gratz back. The confidence booster. As you can see, the crowd is starting to fill in right now.
Some latecomers here. Oh, we've got roughing the kicker. I did not see that flag come in.
So they're going to
do a retry?
Yeah, it looks like they're going to go for 2 right here.
Oh, okay. Well, they've got only a yard to go. Yeah, you can see it. Suleimani, bottom of your screen, talking to Coach Eric Zappe. Let's see what the play call is going to be. I guess they figure it's kind of like a free pass right here because they missed the field goal.
Right.
They got the penalty, and now they got a shot. Luke White is out of the game. Sean Williams is in the backfield along with the fullback, Chris Roan. Yeah, so you got the power I formation right here. What do you think, Eric? Quarterback sneak, handoff?
I'm thinking he's going to hand it off.
And that's Williams. Did he get in?
It looks
He's
like
in.
so.
So that's a good run for Sean Williams.
That's a huge
Wow.
As soon as I was getting ready to say that the penalties is really kicking Gratz, they bust a long one, and they get a penalty in favor of them, go for two, and shrink that lead up even more.
Oh, well, Gratz certainly has something to cheer about now. Now the key is to stop Kevin Caldwell in that high-powered Electron offense.
Let's see if they can get their first stop of the game, first drive stopper of the game. This Electron offense has been on the bench, ready to get back out there and light it up some more. Let's see if Gratz defense can slow them down a little.
Gratz will kick it off. This will be Gerba. Another updated score for you. Newman Goretti out of the Catholic League knocks off Prep Charter out of the Public League 12-6 to win the 2A city title. So the Saints Goretti go into the state championships.
Yes. Congratulations to Newman Goretti.
And as we mentioned earlier, Imhotep, they won their game. Most likely they get a date with Wood here at Northeast next Saturday at 11:30. Another short kick, and it's fielded just before the sideline by number 10, Ruben Cook. And he took a big hit right there, too.
He took a big hit. He concentrated, got both hands on that ball. Ben Franklin with excellent field position to start their third drive of the game.
Yeah, they'll start at their own 43. And Gratz has some work to do right here, but they've got to find a way to stop the aerial attack of Kevin Caldwell and the Electrons. And it's tough to focus on one guy because Caldwell just spreads it around between James and Buffalo. You know.
Yeah, if you have three guys with over 25 receptions out of the four.
And you got this guy running the ball, too.
And you have Tony running the ball really, really tough today. He's also doing an excellent job.
There's a flag that comes in late on the far side. Usually, if it's right there, you could have a hold or a block in the back.
That's what it's looking like. The penalties are starting to shift from Gratz on over to Ben Franklin.
Yeah, both teams have had their share, though, early on.
Yes, they have. Still seem to be able to convert on 3rd and 4th and long, so it doesn't seem to affect neither team right now.
Right.
Let's see if that holds up to towards the end of the game.
Well, you've got, this is the championship game. You might have some jitters going on. It's a little cold outside. Might take them a little bit to get warmed up. But right now, we've got ourselves a ball game, that's for sure.
They're giving the crowd what they wanted, I'll tell you that much.
Caldwell in the shotgun. He's been there the whole game. Back to pass on 1st and 20. It's a screen, and he overthrows Jaimir Tony because Tony, he had a lot of room in front of him. There's Tony right there.
A lot of room in front of him. He might still be running right now. Right off his fingertips.
Caldwell, 4 for 6 here in the early going. And that was only his second incompletion. He's been pretty on point, hitting guys in stride. Maybe felt the Gratz pressure a little bit right there.
Yep, just off his fingertips. That kid throws a great deep ball, but he's also very, very good at his underneath routes as well. Great accuracy. Just a little more touch for Tony to run underneath that ball, and that was a big game.
Shotgun again. Caldwell, bubble screen. Out to James. Gets a good block. He's got some room down the near sideline, and he's hit out of bounds, and that's going to be a late hit. Another bad penalty, and this time it's by Gratz.
That's a very bad penalty. While it was a great catch and run, you still be 3rd and at least 11 or 12. That right there will possibly give him a first down and keep the Electrons offense running.
And that was to Rasheem James. James, 3 catches, 54 yards.
Excellent job catching that rocket screen, putting the ball on his outside hand, getting vertical right away, trying to get as much as you can.
Well, that's a big 15-yard penalty. It's already pushed all the way up into Simon Gratz territory at the 42. 15-yard penalty.
Those are the big plays you cannot have when you're down in a championship game.
23 seconds left in quarter number 1. Franklin looking to score a touchdown on their 3rd consecutive drive. Again, another screen. This time it's out to Rodriguez. Makes a juke, goes to the outside, and he's chased out by number 1, Ken Bennett.
excellent catch and run. It's looking like it's probably time for some of these safeties and corners to play a little bit press. I know they had a few balls thrown over their head, but they're killing them with the dink and dunking all the way down the field right now.
And, you know, Caldwell and the coaching staff of Franklin, they're recognizing that. So they're doing a nice job of taking what's given to them.
You see all the heads looking to the sideline. It's not hurry up, but it's hard to bring defenses on and off of that type of call.
And that was a handoff. I believe that was Ed Dennis. He's still on his feet. Almost gets the first down, and he's pulled back by the Gratz pile. I believe that was the backup running back, Dennis. I'm not sure.
That was another one of those rushes that should have been either a 1-yard gain or right back to the line of scrimmage, and he actually was able to get 2 to 3 tough yards to put them in 3rd and short.
I believe that's Dennis who is down. He just carried the ball. And the Franklin coaching staff yelling at the officials right now, saying that they should have blown the whistle. But that is the end of quarter number 1 as they attend to the injured player. We're going to take a break here on the Sports Fan Base Network. You see the score, 14-8 in the Public League 4A Championship game on SFBN, presented by Payroll Service Solutions.
Hi, I'm Tommy Green, former pitcher for the Philadelphia Phillies. When I was in high school, it was very important to me to show scouts what I could do. My friends at Payroll Service Solutions are huge supporters of high school sports and the Sports Fan Base Network. If you're a small to medium-sized business in need of a payroll company, contact Payroll Service Solutions. Not only will they take care of you, they will continue to support the community. For more information, contact Payroll Service Solutions at 215-624-0922.
Welcome back. Ari Bluestein, Eric Clark here with you on SFBN. Handoff inside. And that's going to be a first down there. That was a 3rd and 1 on the play here of the second quarter.
That was a great run play right there on 3rd and short. A little misdirection. Looked like one of the Gratz defenders actually ran right past the play.
Yeah, that was Jameer Tony, and the injured player was Ed Dennis, but he did walk off the field on his own power, so that's certainly a good thing.
Yes,
Now it's a first down and 10 for the Electrons. Caldwell at a shotgun, looking to pass again. Steps up into the pocket, throws on the run, and it is incomplete. And if he got a little more mustard on that, that might have been picked off by the Simon Gratz defensive back.
Yeah, about probably the first decision I think that Caldwell should have, maybe tucked that. He could have probably got 4 or 5.
I agree. Yeah. Yeah, I think he had a chance, even though he maybe wouldn't have gotten a first down. Maybe run and slide, make it a 2nd down and 6, something like that.
Hey, 4 to 5 yards, all you need to keep those sticks moving.
That's right. So Ben Franklin, they are in Gratz territory. Caldwell at the helm. He's been pretty efficient so far. He's back to pass again. He's going deep again, and it is caught down the far sideline by his big receiver. That's Mike Kane, the 6'5", 210-pound junior wide receiver.
Again, he puts that ball in that corner route right on the outside shoulder where only his receiver can catch it, or if he doesn't, it's right out of bounds. It's a beautiful ball, great timing, beautiful touch.
Well, when you have a 6'5" receiver, you can just throw it up and know that he's going to come down with it.
Big target. He's just pretty much rebounding the basketball. I wouldn't be surprised if that kid not on the basketball team as well, being that tall.
Caldwell out of the shotgun. 1st and goal from the 5. Handoff inside. This is Jameer Tony. Powers forward. He's in. Touchdown. Jameer Tony and the Franklin Electrons as they score on 3 straight drives.
3 straight drives, 3 straight scores. Very impressed with the Electron run game as well. That's a little bit of a added bonus to the air raid pass attack that we've been seeing all year long.
Yeah, they had the Wildcat rushing touchdown by Rodriguez, and Jameer Tony 7 carries, 26 yards and a touchdown. So they're having a nice compliment there, too, and they're with the short passes too, as you mentioned. They're really kind of mixing things up.
Very balanced today. Most of the time, majority of the time, you see Caldwell with all of the scoring, passing touchdowns. Just like you said, the Wildcat touchdown run. You had a little zone read for this touchdown as well. It's pick your poison time right now.
Here's Ismail Asaka for the kick. and it's low line drive, and it is no good. Gratz was close to blocking it, and that might have distracted him a little bit. So the score is 20-8, so that might help Simon Gratz here in the long run. But again, the offense has to go back to work, and the Bulldogs, they've got to have a nice long drive and keep these electrons off the field because they're not stopping. They've scored on all 3 of their drives.
Again, at least 2 first downs Gratz need right now just so this game won't get out of hand. This Gratz defense needs some time to figure out how they could string together 3 to 4 big stops to get this Franklin team off the field.
This Franklin team has looked pretty good thus far, and they are undefeated, 9-0. They were 5-0 in league play. They actually were shorted one game. Their Lincoln game got canceled, but in the quarterfinal beat Fells 63-6, and in the semifinals, surprisingly handled Washington pretty well. 19, because in the regular season it took 2 overtimes for Ben Franklin to beat George Washington.
That regular season game was a pretty good game. I was thinking that the same thing would happen, but I guess Franklin made the adjustments and George Washington didn't.
Nice kickoff this time, and going into the end zone is the football. Sean Williams lets it bounce in there. I think he had a different kicker there. That might have been Javier Buffalo on the kick.
That was the penalty. It was a penalty after that last score. Marched that kickoff a little closer. That's the first time I've seen a kickoff get into the end zone in a while.
So Gratz will start at their own 20. They're going to have to go a long way. Got to mix it up. Get it to Luke White, Amir Lewis. Now Whitfield. Get it to the fullback a little bit, Chris Rohn. Let's see what the Bulldogs and Coach Eric Sapay decide to do.
Very important drive of the game right now.
Suleimani under center. Handoff up the gut. I believe that's White. And he's pushed forward, and he gets a few yards. And, oh, wow, he got a couple of extra yards after I thought the whistle was going to be blown. Ended up being a gain of about 7.
Keep those legs churning until you hear the whistle. That was an excellent run. This is the type of offense that Gratz want to play. They want to, get small chunks of rushing yards. This was actually a big 8-yard gain, so they want to keep that up just to in this game and keep these chains moving.
Luke White, 96 carries, 625 yards, and 8 touchdowns coming into today. And I remember seeing an article about him in the paper from Aaron Ace Carter in the Daily News. And here he is again. Wow, he just bowls over the Franklin defender, spins off another guy, and he gets forward almost to about the 40-yard line, to about the 38. How about that run, Eric?
Hey, that was a beautiful run. He's not done with the championship game. He has something to say about his role in keeping him in his game.
4 carries, 48 yards, and a touchdown.
And they were
for the junior Luke White.
They were the tough 48 yards at that. A lot of yards after contact. A lot of playing to the whistle, churning those legs. I like what I see out of him right now.
1st and 10 for Gratz. Like you mentioned, Eric, it's important for them to move the ball, keep the chains moving a little bit, eat up some clock.
Yeah, you want to keep this game manageable come crunch time and have to control the ball with the run game.
Suleimani up the gut. That was a handoff to number 24, Amir Lewis. That's his first carry of the game. Gets a couple of yards up to about the 40.
Starting to pack it in. This would be a good time for a play-action pass to see if you can get one of those.
Right, you were mentioning that in pregame, how you keep running, then you get the play action.
Hey, after a couple successful runs like that, you can possibly lull your DBs to sleep just a little. Could be wide open.
Let's see, you've got Kenneth Bennett, the wide receiver, number 1, lined up here on the near side right at the 40-yard line. They're in a tight formation. Let's see what they do. It's a little misdirection. Luke White to the outside, and he dives forward. Looks like it's going to be enough for a first down. Nice little misdirection play right there.
Beautiful. You got the defense shift flowing to one side. Very fast defense, so misdirection works perfect with a team that's fast and quick and at times can over-penetrate.
And, this is my first time watching Luke White play. I love the way he hits that hole. He just hits it, and he follows his blocker, and once he sees any type of opening, he is gone, and he's going north to south.
Very fast back, has good vision, good feet, runs for all really, really hard.
Another first down right around midfield. Near side. Handoff. This is Lewis this time, and he's got a lot of room to run down the far sideline, and he's taken down finally by Franklin's number 20, Nafis Ewell. But that's another Gratz first down, and another star running back for this Gratz team, Amir Lewis. He takes it this time.
They have a lot of different weapons, interchangeable running backs they could plug in and out, keeping them nice and fresh, running that ball. This is exactly the type of drive Gratz needed after, giving up that third scoring drive.
Timeout called by Ben Franklin. They were sensing maybe they're getting a little tired here as Gratz was running all over him. So we're going to take a quick break here on the Sports Fan Base Network presented by Payroll Service Solutions. The Bulldogs, they're down, but they're on the move. Welcome back. Ben Franklin calling their timeout, their second timeout of the half. And now Gratz is back on the field, 1st and 10 from the Electron 31. Oh, nice fake on the pitch, and the handoff goes inside. This is the fullback, Chris Roan, and he takes it up to about the 25. So Gratz mixing things up a little bit, getting more guys involved.
Tough run on the counter by the fullback. He's a bowling ball. He really gets his pass down and runs pretty hard.
Chris Roan, 45 carries, 286 yards, and a touchdown. And you can see when I was doing my research for this game, Eric, you have like 4 or 5 different guys that have over 200 yards rushing this year. So you could see it's not just Luke White, it's not just Amir Lewis, but they do rely on their fullback Roan to really carry the load.
Yep, just like I said, Gratz have about 3 or 4 guys with those 200 to 300 yards rushing. Franklin has about the exact opposite, just on the receiving end, about 3 to 4 guys with over 300 yards receiving. So 2 totally different opposite teams, all with the same goal of being a public league champion.
So 1st and 10 for Gratz. And this time the fullback handoff didn't work. And a loss of maybe 1 or 2.
Gratz is slowly starting to spread him out a little bit. More multiple receiver sets. Still trying to run the ball at him, though.
Second and 12. And a lot of time coming off the clock here. Obviously, that's maybe the most important.
A lot of time. They can get a score here, take a few more minutes off. Get a big stop, which would be their first stop, and they get the ball out the half. Could flip this game around a little.
Luke White in motion. Asuleimani passing, and it is incomplete, intended for C.J. Hall. He was there, but Asuleimani maybe just a little bit too far out in front of him.
Hey, the pressure was coming. He stood nice and tall in there. Might have made him short arm it just a little. Good defense on the Electron end as well.
I like that second down play. It's a play action. You kind of catch him off guard. But now here's the problem. You're 3rd and 12. And like I said, this is definitely 2-down territory right here. No field goals on the year for Gratz.
Exactly. I would go and get 7 and 7 if I could. Break it up a little bit. You don't have to go for the juggler right here and go for the whole bomb for a touchdown. You can break it up. This is 2-down territory right here.
Let's see. Last time they were kind of in a situation. They handed the ball off inside. Now Asuleimani's working out of the shotgun, trips to the near side.
Looking more like a Ben Franklin formation right here.
The single back is Amir Lewis. Asuleimani looking, and he throws. He was hit as he threw. That's a shame because Luke White was open, but the pressure got to him, and it was Brian Harvey. We talked about him. He is the key defensive player for Ben Franklin.
That kid is really, really fast at the linebacker position. Asuleimani didn't have time to set his feet and throw that accurate pass. That receiver was definitely open.
Yep, and Luke White, if he got the ball, who knows what he could have done in the open field.
That looked like 6 to me.
Now we have a 4th down and 12, and last time Gratz was in this position, Asuleimani threw it up there, and his receiver, C.J. Hall, went up and got it for a 25-yard completion. I don't know if Ben Franklin will let that happen more than once.
All right, let's see if he can duplicate that, make this game a little more interesting.
I wonder if they'll run something maybe to get like a guy like Lewis or White in the open field, throw it about 6 yards deep, and then maybe see if they can get it.
Screen is great right here.
Well, let's see. You've got an interesting formation here, crowded backfield. The blocking is there. Now here comes the rush. Asuleimani being chased, and he's taken down from behind. Great job. That was, I believe, for Franklin. That might have been number 20, Nafis Ewell in there. making the sack, and it's a turnover on downs for Gratz. A couple of big defensive plays right there for Ben Franklin.
Big fourth down stop. We'll remember that play in this series sometime at the end of the game. That might have been one of the biggest plays of the game so far.
Now Ben Franklin takes over, up by 12, and they've got a chance here. If they can go down and score, they put themselves in a real good position going into the locker room.
Hey, you score right here, you game wide open right.
Shotgun formation again for the Electrons. Caldwell with the pitch. This is Tony trying to get to the outside edge, and he is dragged down from behind and chased out by number 4, Javon Whitfield. So again, Gratz has done a pretty good job sealing that edge. It's just been the problem has been against the pass.
Hey, that's a tough 5-yard gain. That looked like it could have been in the backfield minus 2 yards. He's churning his legs. He's keeping his pad level down. Those legs are moving.
Second down and 5.
That trips down to the boundary right here.
Caldwell changing some things up. Rafael Rodriguez now lined up in the slot on the far side. Caldwell looking to pass, and it is incomplete. It was intended for Rodriguez, but it was just a little bit low. And again, another receiver that wasn't hit inside. He had some room to run as well.
Yeah, plenty. He could have, broke that route off just probably a little sooner. His defenders 5-6 yards deep on him. A hitch right there or a bubble. Get him the ball really fast would work. 3rd down and 5 is a big drive. This may be the first stop for the Gratz defense right here. This is a big play right here.
Right, if you can stop them and Franklin has to punt, that is pretty huge.
Huge, a momentum swift.
Caldwell can do. Gratz has to obviously come up with a big stop. Oh, low snap, ball is loose. Caldwell has to jump on it, and that's going to ultimately lead to a Ben Franklin punt. So Gratz maybe catches a break right there.
Caught themselves a great opportune time of the game.
So that's going to set up a 3rd and 16, or 4th and 16, I should say.
Yeah, Gratz getting their first at the stop of the game halfway through the second quarter. Let's see if they can turn this into some points.
Into punt is Rafael Rodriguez. Back to receive for Simon Gratz is number 5, Sean Williams. Rodriguez, a high punt, not a lot of distance though. It's going to take a little bit of an electron bounce though across the 40, still rolling. And down at their own 46, so pretty good field position here for the Bulldogs. They catch a break after not being able to cash in on that last drive.
Not bad at all.
Ari Bluestein, Eric Clark here with you on SFBN, presented by Payroll Service Solutions. You're watching the Public League 4A Championship game live from Northeast High School's Charlie Martin Memorial Stadium, the old stomping grounds of my color commentator, Eric Clark.
Yes.
The former Northeast and Towson great.
Hey, this is actually my first time up in this booth. I might might try to start calling some games from up here. You get to see it all.
Yes, you do. I want to thank Chris Riley here in Northeast, Mike Hawkins, Ken Geiser, and Robert Coleman, everybody here in the Public League in District 12 that helped set us up here at Northeast High. Inside run for Gratz, couple of yards.
It's a short game, but that's the perfect mentality for them. That's get 2 to 3 every snap. Put yourself in a manageable 3rd and 1.
Raekwon Thomas is down for Simon Gratz. And we're going to keep it right here as they take a look at Raekwon after that carry by Luke White. It was a 2-yard gain for him. 6 carries, 59 yards. And hopefully Raekwon Thomas is okay. And now, second down and 8 for Gratz. The pitch to White. Gets to the outside. He's got some blockers in front. He's got a first down on the near sideline. I think Gratz wanted a late hit. He was hit out of bounds, but the flags are not being thrown.
That kid White is fast. He turned that corner with some aggression.
Yeah, and like you said, I think you said earlier, he's got great vision.
Great vision.
Once he sees the open space, he's gone. He's going north to south. He's not making some juke side to side. He's going far.
That's one thing I see out of all these backs here. They're not just running straight to the sideline. They're getting north and south. They're trying to pick up yards, move those chains.
1st and 10 for the Bulldogs. Pitch again to Luke White. Tries to cut it up, spins off one tackler, and he's hit hard by number 20, Nifes Ewell of Franklin. So only a gain of a couple right there. Actually, maybe only one.
Short game, but you're slowly starting to see it starting to shift just a little. Finally got them stopping, and that offensive line is starting to push the Electron defensive line back just a little.
Well, Ben Franklin just used their final timeout with 5:26 remaining here in quarter number 2. We're going to step away real quick. Simon Gratz trying to score before the end of the half. Welcome back. 2nd and 8 for Simon Gratz. You're watching SFBN presented by Payroll Service Solutions. A run up the gut again.
That looks like a quarterback keep.
Oh, was that a quarterback
Just
keeper? I looked down for a minute. So that was Suleimani on the carry and a 1st down for Simon Gratz as he gets to about the 21. That ended up being a 10-yard gain on the keeper.
Catching the defense off guard right there. Anything you have in your back pocket, this is the time to pull it out.
All right, we have 1st and 10 here for the Bulldogs. We're under 5 minutes to go till halftime. Handoff again to White. Now he tries to bounce it outside. He's got some room. He's got C.J. Hall blocking in front, and he is going to be dragged out just shy of the end zone inside the 5 to about the 3-yard line. And that time, that was all Luke White because I think that was designed to go up the gut, and he bounced it outside. He saw the room, and great job by C.J. Hall to block on the outside as well.
That's the vision I've been talking about all day long. Great feet and good vision. Turns into big gains for the Gratz Bulldogs.
A 17-yard run, 9 carries, 93 yards for Luke White. How about that?
Almost a 100-yard day in one half.
And the yards per carry, it's unreal. About 10 yards per carry. And here's Suleimani on the keeper. He dives in. Touchdown, Simon Gratz. And again, they are right back in it. How about that?
This is a ball game now.
Suleimani dives in with 4:38 remaining here in the half. And now let's see what they decide to do. Are they going to go for 2? Yeah, I think they're going to keep the offense on the field. For Suleimani, that was rushing TD number 3 on the season. All right, so now Gratz is going to go for 2 to try and make this a 4-point game. I hear some whistles. I think we have an equipment issue on Ben Franklin in the back of the end zone. Yeah, you can see it right there to the right of your screen. But here's another big play now. Even if Gratz doesn't get this, it's a one-score game.
Still a one-score game.
But if Gratz can get this, and you look at Franklin, they've already missed an extra point. Those point-after touchdowns, they could really come back and haunt you if you don't make them.
Yes, they can. You start thinking about those little points that happened in the first quarter towards the end of the game.
And Lewis is trying to get in. I don't think he did. Nope, no good.
It's a big stop by the Electron defense.
That is a big stop. And now we've got a score of 20-14 with about 4.5 minutes remaining. And the dangerous Kevin Caldwell back onto the field for the Electrons. And Coach David Carter for Franklin, I feel like he's got to use his best weapon here on the drive, Kevin Caldwell, to assert themselves and increase their lead a little bit.
Yes, they do. I'm sure he'll try to, get the ball out really quick on the first couple, and I won't be surprised if he won't take a shot deep right now. A little momentum look like it's going in Gratz's favor. I'm sure they want to put that right back in their own hands.
There's the Simon Gratz side right there. People are bundled up in their blankets a little bit. Actually, excuse me, that's the Ben Franklin side. I'm getting all confused because I was thinking Franklin would be the home game coming into today.
I did as well.
Yeah, Simon Gratz is the home team, the winner of the Liberty Division. Franklin, the winner of the Independence Division, is on the road side here at Northeast High's Charlie Martin Memorial Stadium. And now Simon Gratz will kick it off. So it'll be Gerba again.
Let's see if they try to kick it deep or pooch kick it again.
Now, when Gerba's been in there, he's been pooch kicking it, I should say. This time he kicks it deep a little bit.
Deep and in the middle. That could be dangerous.
This is Rodriguez trying to get to the outside. Now he reverses field.
That could be dangerous.
He's still going. And finally swarmed and brought down at their own 40. But again, pretty good field position for Franklin. They've been hanging around right around their own 40 for the starting of their drives.
Great field position. End of the half. Let's see if they could turn this into some points. Gratz will get the ball at the end of the half, so this could be a huge stop and change the momentum of this game.
Well, we just saw Gratz. They came up with a big stop themselves. I think we have an injured Franklin player on the field right now. And, we mentioned, just to talk about the playoffs a little bit, the playoff picture, this is the 4A game. The winner will play St. Joseph's Prep, who demolished LaSalle last night right here at Northeast, 46-13. How about that score?
Very surprised. That first game, I think it was a 35-31.
Yeah, we covered that game here on SFBN.
Another one of those St. Joe's Prep LaSalle Classics. So, St. Joe's Prep must have came out the blocks last night with all the adjustments. That LaSalle team, if I could compare them to a team in this game, it would be more like Ben Franklin. That LaSalle team with Sherman at quarterback throws the ball all around. So,
yeah, and you look at St. They can throw a little bit too, but they've got the power run game of Alameda Zacchaeus and DeAndre Swift, and they're going to be a tough team to beat. Whoever wins this game, they're going to be tough to beat.
They're always one of the best teams in the state and in America.
There's John Tony on the carry. Good carry for about 7 yards for him.
I'll tell you this much, being a public school player and coach, whichever team comes out of here, I wish them the best of luck. And now, it's a tougher fight than I think a lot of the fans in the area think. A lot of good football in public school football.
We'll see. Last year everybody thought the Prep was going to walk all over the Frankfort Pioneers, and Frankfort gave them a game.
That was the toughest game of their season.
Wow, a lot of room to run for Tony, and again with the ankle tackle. I believe that was Sean Jenkins, the middle linebacker for Gratz, just reaching out and grabbing the feet of Tony, and he is tripped up, but not before he gains a first down and a lot more.
Both teams have some speedy backs, speedy, fast, and strong.
10 carries, 51 yards, and a touchdown for Jaimir Tony of the Franklin Electrons. First and 10, the Electrons on the move again. 3.5 to go till halftime. Shotgun, Caldwell going deep down the near sideline, and it is deflected. And I thought Kenneth Bennett might have been able to pick that off, but he just decided to knock it down.
I think it surprised him. He was running, turned his head, the ball was right there, but he definitely could have possibly put two hands on that ball and got the first turnover of the game.
I thought that he had a chance to pick that off. I think the fans are even saying, man, he had a chance to get that, didn't he?
Yeah. So easy as a fan watching it over here saying that when you're in play.
There you go.
You snap that head around the balls right there.
There you go. That's the DB love for you.
He got the break up. That's all that matters.
Yeah, but if you get the pick against Caldwell, that's a game changer right there.
You know it.
Well, let's see what Franklin does here. Obviously, Gratz still has to stop the Electrons. 2nd and 10. And we've got a flag that might be on Franklin.
Looks like a false start if they're going to blow the play dead.
And indeed it is. So pushing back 5 yards. It'll be 2nd down and 15.
Still a lot of penalties on both sides. I feel like the penalties affects Gratz offensive game plan a little more than Ben Franklin's. They're still going to put the ball up in the air,
right,
no matter what. Surprisingly, this Ben Franklin run game has been very, very effective.
Yes, they have. 2nd and 15 now for the Electrons. Caldwell's been in the pistol pretty much the entire game, and he's back to pass again. Steps up into the pocket. He goes deep down the seam, and it is overthrown, and a flag comes out. Now, there was definitely contact there from Byron Williams of Simon Gratz, number 12. However, I feel that was overthrown, an uncatchable pass. I think that's no flag.
I got my defensive hat back on, and I totally agree. That ball was I don't think it was in, the radius, of a catchable ball. And, both receiver and defender was both looking at the ball. I think you could have, kept that flag in your pocket.
Well, the call was pass interference, and that's going to be a first down. Actually, no, it's going to be, yes, it will be a first down. 15-yard penalty.
I'm seeing Gratz defense make some subtle adjustments. They're covering up those slot receivers on both sides, playing press mans outside on the number one receivers, the two outside receivers as well. Have that one deep safety playing like a center fieldman in the back, playing with the quarterback sides and getting over the top. So they're forcing that ball to go over the head instead of, those hitches and bubbles that were really effective for Ben Franklin in the first quarter and parts of the second quarter.
Simon Gratz just called their first timeout. And that timeout, I think, right there by Coach Eric Sapay. Obviously, Gratz frustrated perhaps with that call. But they got to get their heads back on because they got to come up with a stop here.
Hey, you can't take those timeouts into the second half. You'll get a fresh 3, so you might as well burn them, settle the troops down, talk about it, and relax. And that wasn't a bad penalty. It's not a spot foul like in the NFL. Mark it off 15 yards, play to live another down.
First and 10 here for the Electrons following the penalty. Single back is Tony. Caldwell back to pass. He's being rushed. Steps up into the pocket. Throws off his back leg. And it is incomplete. Broken up, I believe that was again Byron Williams, who just was called for that last pass interference penalty. I believe Williams and Javon Whitfield collided. They both seem to be okay. You see them on screen right now, but really good pass breakup again by the Simon Gratz defensive backs.
Way to bounce back. Being a defensive back, you have to have that short-term memory. You have to forget about the good plays and the bad plays. Every play is a new play. Go out there and play your game. That Gratz rush is slowly but surely getting there. They haven't hit them yet, but they're getting close.
Second and 10. Flag on the play. Play continues. Screen to Tony. He's got some room. First down and more. He's going to the near side of the field, and he is again ankle tackled down and around the 4. Now, there is a penalty, but I believe usually when they let play continue, it's going to go against the defense.
Looks like it's on Gratz, so it's an offside encroachment. Great play call. When you start to see those defensive linemen and those linebackers get pressure on.
Oh, it's on Franklin. That's strange. I mean, was it maybe an illegal formation?
It has to be because I saw the flag before the snap, so it couldn't have
Right,
been holding.
I saw it before the snap too, but usually they blow the play dead at that point.
Right.
Well, how about that? Another break for Simon Gratz.
I think that's the second illegal formation.
Yeah, because false start, they blow it dead
right away.
But on illegal formation, usually maybe they'll let it play out a little bit.
Right.
I think, from what I remember. But nonetheless, it's a 5-yard penalty against the Electrons, 2nd and 15. That's a huge difference.
That erases almost, a 35-yard reception, and it would have been first and goal at about the 3 or 4 yard line.
Yeah, that was it was down to the 4-yard line. Yep. 27 yards it would have been on the screen. So we're down to about 2.5 minutes to go till halftime. Don't go anywhere during halftime. We'll have our halftime report go through the first half stats and get you up to date around scores around the league. Here's a reverse. It's not clean. Rodriguez puts it on the ground, and he has tackled back near midfield. And again, Simon Gratz with a break, and Franklin took a risk right there, and it didn't pay off.
Gratz is figuring it out slowly but surely, and they're still in this game right now. A big stop right here with 2 minutes and some change left and the ball at the end of the half. It's about 3rd and forever.
And Simon Gratz smartly calls the timeout with the clock stopped at 2 minutes and 12 seconds. And you see coming up next will be our halftime report. Eric and I will break down the first half. We'll go through our stats. We'll try and get a special guest up here for a little interview, but if not, we'll kind of review what's going on in the landscape of playoff football. There was a lot of action last night, Eric Clark. As Suburban District 1 playoffs, a lot of really good games there. So we'll try and review that a little bit at the half. But this is a pretty good game. We're going to have a lot to talk about.
A lot to talk about. Best time of the year for me. Playoff time, Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
You play your Thanksgiving game. You get with the family and watch football. It's a good time.
And we'll plug that right now. We'll be back here on the 27th on Thanksgiving to cover your Northeast Vikings against the Central Lancers, 10:30 in the morning.
I'm excited about it. It'll be my first game as a coach. I got to play in it for 3 years, and it was amazing then. So I'm excited about my first game as a Northeast coach on Thanksgiving.
So now 3rd and 28 for Ben Franklin. It's long, but with Caldwell's arm, he can do it. He can throw the ball downfield 28 yards. Let's see what happens. Caldwell, he has time. He steps up. Now he's going to run with it. He's got a lot of room in front, and he is still on his feet, and he's got the first down. Are you kidding me?
Wow. You convert 3rd and 39 and pick up 40.
Oh, my goodness. That's going to be our stall agency play of the game. What a run by Kevin Caldwell. Stahl Bonds and Insurance specializes in the construction business industry. For all your bonding and construction insurance needs, please go to their website, www.stolllagency.com. Now, a Franklin player is down on the field. I don't know if that's Caldwell or not, but what a run by Kevin Caldwell.
I didn't know Caldwell had that in him. You get to see the big arm on display all the time. He's not bad with the legs as well. Might be more of a dual threat quarterback a little bit as well.
Well, Caldwell, he doesn't have a lot of rushing yards. He does have 2 rushing TDs, but 31 yards on that run.
Wow.
And we're going to go to a commercial break while they take a look at the injured player on the far sideline. Ben Franklin looking to add to their lead as we end the first half. We'll be back.
Hi, I'm Marty Bystrom, former pitcher for the Philadelphia Phillies. In my experience in Major League Baseball, I know how important it is for high school athletes to gain exposure. My friends at Payroll Service Solutions are huge supporters of high school sports and the Sports Fan Base Network. If you are a small to medium-sized business in need of a payroll company, contact Payroll Service Solutions. Not only will they take care of you, they will continue to support the community. For more information, contact Payroll Service Solutions at 215-624-0922 or 866-PAYS.
Welcome back, Kevin Caldwell. Back after that 31-yard run on 3rd and 28. Now he slings it to the end zone and it's caught for a touchdown. Rafael Rodriguez on the reception, an 18-yard touchdown, and just like that, Ben Franklin retakes a 2-possession lead.
I can't explain how huge that score and that 3rd and long conversion was. I knew we would hear Rafael Rodriguez's name soon. But we seen him a little bit in the Wildcat. Here he goes, this reception touchdown. Explosive playmaker. Macho, what they call him.
He's got 3 catches for 36 yards and a touchdown now, as it looks like Ben Franklin's offense is going to stay on the field. Probably a good move right here. If they get the 2-pointer, they'll be up 2 touchdowns, including the extra point, which we've seen that Gratz has had some trouble with.
The extra points are not for sure in this league.
Run up gut, and Gratz, I think they stopped him. No good. Well, that's a big stop right there for Simon Gratz. The score is 26-14. And I don't know if Gratz really has the big play power to get down the field quickly. I believe Franklin is the one that started this game. They had the first drive. So if I'm Simon Gratz and I'm Coach Eric Sapay, you just want to take the clock down, take it into the half, and get ready for the drive in the second half.
Yes, you're getting the ball in the beginning of the second half, so that may be an option. If you can't, maybe move the chains on maybe a rush or dive or some type of lead power play on first down. You don't want to make this problem bigger than what it already is.
Yeah, that's the last thing you need if you're Gratz is to air it out, throw an interception, get a pick 6 here. It's a manageable game. You're only down 2 touchdowns right now. You're right in it.
Still score game. 2 scores with the extra point actually wins this game. So you don't want to get too down on yourself. You get the ball out the half. It's very manageable. You're still in the game.
Make sure you follow us on Twitter at @the_SFBN with the hashtag SFBN. Short kick. This is Whitfield. Reversing Fields. Big hit on that kickoff. And Whitfield is still going, and he finally is dragged down to about the 36. So not bad field position for Simon Gratz. And I would keep it on the ground here, see if Luke White can make some plays happen. Then if you get into Franklin territory, maybe you air it out.
I totally agree. This first and second down play dictates on how you play the rest of this half out. Gratz can actually go to a spread look as well. But just like you said, you don't want to make this situation worse than what it is. First and second down would dictate what you do with the rest of this half with 1:14 left on the clock.
And here goes Simon Gratz and Musa Asuleimani back to work. They're spreading it out here. Shotgun. See if they throw it. Asuleimani passes, short slant. He saw the defender coming over. I think that was Harvey who was jumping that route, intended for Sean Williams.
It's tough going in there getting those quick slants. You got linebackers and safeties ready to take your head off.
Second down and 10 after the incompletion. Gratz with 1 timeout remaining. Franklin, no timeouts left here in this first half.
It's beautiful seeing all the different school football jackets in the crowd. A lot of support from all around the city.
Yeah, I saw Martin Luther King, the purple and yellow. It's hard to miss them.
Yeah, I've seen
Northeast
Gratz,
Vikings here.
Seen Frankfurt jackets, seen a few different schools.
Second and 10. Asuleimani. He's got time. He's going deep. Looking for Whitfield, and it is caught. It is caught down to the 21. Big time play, and Whitfield just did a great job of really not making it look like the ball was going.
It looked like there's a flag down.
Oh, there's a flag. Is it late? I'm trying to see where the flag is down.
It's all the way on Ben Franklin's sideline, right by the sticks.
They call it on. It's an illegal shift. Is that the call? Oh, man, that's a killer for Simon Gratz. I couldn't even see the flag.
That's a tough one to swallow for Gratz. It wasn't bad coverage either. It looked like he lost the receiver or lost the ball. He was in good position. Just didn't make a play on the ball.
Illegal shift on Simon Gratz is the call. Well, that's tough. I mean, that could have been huge for the Bulldogs.
Both teams are doing a lot of shifting. All that's on the quarterback, just taking an extra half a second to let everyone get settled and reset before you go through your cadence. So those are all things that can be cleaned up, but you can't get that play back.
No, you can't. Second and 15. Whitfield's in motion, who just had that catch that was nullified by the penalty. Asuleimani on the screen. This is to Lewis. Lewis with some blockers in front. Squeezes through, and he's down. It's going to be close to a first down.
He looks like he got it.
And let's see what the call is. They are going to stop the clock with about 30 seconds. I think they're going to move the chains. Let's see. Or they might measure it here, Eric.
It's close enough, yes.
Very close. $15-yard complete to Lewis from Asuleimani.
Hey, the screens have been very big plays for both schools. Very aggressive defensive line. And that's definitely one good play that can eliminate a big pass rush.
All right, here comes the measurement. Get a good look at it right here. Oh,
they got it.
First down. By the nose of the football there, Eric.
Nose. Just got it, just enough.
So the clock is stopped at 30.5 seconds.
And Gratz is in attack mode.
They've got a chance here.
Yep. They told us, don't worry about going in at the half. We want to score. It's now or never.
Yeah, they definitely didn't take our advice right there. Now, we've got a flag. That was a clock play. I don't know. I think that might have been Franklin, actually. I think I saw a Franklin helmet get into the news but let's see what the call is.
Wow.
It is, yes.
Encroachment.
That's what I thought I saw. So push them forward 5 yards. And they're going to be into Electron territory now at the Franklin 49. And penalties have been a key factor in this game on both sides. You had that illegal shift that nullified that last play. You had that last play right there, pushing forward 5 yards. Yeah, big pass interference call down there.
Those officials are working today. I'll tell you that.
The clock started. I don't think it was supposed to start. Every millisecond is precious here at the end of this half.
Yes, it is.
Now, do we have a timeout here on the field? I know there's one more timeout. They might have used it.
Yeah, I know they tried to spike the ball, so I'm not sure if they were holding on to a timeout or if they were just ran out of timeouts. But
now the scoreboard here at Charlie Martin Memorial Stadium says no timeouts. Now they do signal a timeout for Simon Gratz. And they are going to put some time back. I believe they're going to add 28. They're going to put it up to 28. Yeah, the official. There we go. 28 seconds now is official. That is correct on the clock. So it's 1st and 5 for Simon Gratz. And they are in Electron territory. And they need really maybe 1 or 2 more big plays. Obviously, the Electrons are going to be looking for that.
The Electrons are ready for it. I would, maybe drop some of those defensive backs a little deeper than normal.
Now, here's an idea. Maybe you run it here, get the first down, and that stops the clock when you move the chains, then clock it. That might move you forward a little bit, catch Franklin off guard. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, exactly.
The Suleimani is in the pistol. Luke White's in motion. He's got room. He's going deep, and it is it picked? No, the ball's on the ground. Incomplete. Great coverage by Rafael Rodriguez. That was intended for Sean Williams. And, Sean Williams is a guy, we haven't really said his name too much. He's only got 2 carries for 5 yards, no receptions. He's a pretty big part of this offense.
Yeah, he's being patient. That was his number call right there. And he ended up turning from receiver to DB right there. That was a good job of him breaking up that pass to eliminate that interception.
Yeah, at least gives Gratz a little bit more of a chance. He's 2nd and 5 now, actually. Again, shotgun. We've got trips here to the near side. You see him bottom of your screen. One wide receiver split out to the far side. Suleimani. Back to pass. And he's got Luke White wide open to the 4. He's trying to get out of bounds, but he's taken down.
That's going to run that clock.
Well, now the clock is going to stop. They're going to move the chains. And then Gratz will have to do the clock play. Nice job by Luke White. As soon as the chains are set, the clock will start running. Clock runs. Clock play by Suleimani. Okay. Nice job by Luke White. He saw it. He tried to get out of bounds, but great job by Franklin to keep him inbounds.
Tackle him inbounds. Took maybe 2 seconds off that clock. Great job.
11.6 seconds remaining. Gratz has 35 yards till the end zone. And a reminder, I'm pretty sure Gratz will get the second half kickoff. I'm pretty sure Franklin started off this game getting the ball. So if they can score here and get the ball in the second half, that would be huge. All right, so we've got 2nd and after the clock play. Again, the Bulldogs are spreading it out. Simon Gratz in the white uniforms. Franklin in the silver with the yellow helmets. Luke White's in motion. Suleimani going deep, and it is incomplete. Intended for Jovan Whitfield, broken up by Corian Carlisle. Nice job by Carlisle right there.
Great defense. Way to break that play up.
3rd and 10 now. Seven seconds remain. Do you take a shot at the end zone at this point?
I take a shot. If you get an interception right here, it's just going on your stat sheet. You have to make sure you don't throw any interceptions in the middle of the field. You can set up a wall on a return, though. But championship game, you're down 2 scores. You're at the 35. Go and try to make a play.
Yeah, this may be the last play of the half. Suleiman, the pass, he's being rushed. He launches it deep, and it is caught. Is that caught? No, incomplete. Incomplete. Intended for Sean Williams. And right now the clock at Charlie Martin Memorial Stadium is showing 0.5 seconds.
Hey, Suleiman is taking some very hard shots late in the second quarter. Ben Franklin is applying that pressure.
So it's 4th and 10. And with 0.5 seconds remaining, Gratz is going to get one more play, it looks like. There's a timeout on the field, although I'm not sure who called it because I'm pretty sure both teams were out of timeouts.
The mystery timeout.
The mystery timeout. There's Gratz right there. Coach Eric Sapay talking to his team. And you know what's key right here? You got to give Musa Suleimani just maybe 3 to 4 seconds of time. That time he maybe had 2 to 3, and he was rushing the throw. Just give him one more second to let him launch it.
They're getting closer and closer to landing that big sack. Suleimani is getting rid of the ball just in the nick of time, but it's kind of making him short arm the ball just a little. If he can get an extra half a second up to a second, maybe he could do something with that ball.
Well, this will be the last play of the first half here in the Public League 4A championship game.
Barring another penalty.
Barring another penalty. That's Suleimani, shotgun, rolling, being chased, steps up. He launches it, and it's going to be caught, but at the 10-yard line, and Luke White is going to be down. So that is how the first half will end. And again, Suleimani just did not quite have enough time to get enough mustard on that, and even though it was complete to Luke White.
Yes, just like the play before, that defense end flushed him out, and he didn't get everything behind that ball that he needed to put that into the end zone.
All right, we're going to take a timeout. Next up is our halftime report. You're watching the Sports Fan Base Network presented by Payroll Service Solutions. Ben Franklin leads Simon Gratz 26-14 at the half here in the Public League 4A Championship. Welcome back to the Sports Fan Base Network presented by Payroll Service Solutions. Ari Bluestein, Eric Clark here with you. It's halftime here at Northeast Charlie Martin Memorial Stadium. 26-14 is your score. Franklin leading Gratz. And before we get to the first half, Eric, what's your thoughts on the first half? Pretty fun game so far.
Very exciting game. A lot of fun to watch. It's penalties on both sides, but the style of play Gratz plays, it seems like the penalties are affecting them more. Ben Franklin can rebound from the penalties a little more with their passing attack. But from the stats, Gratz are able to do a lot of the same successful things that Ben Franklin is able to do to a certain extent. But when you're running the ball and you're looking for 3 to 4 yards of carry, 1st and 20, 1st and 15, it's putting them in a tough situation compared to Ben Franklin when they're just trying to chuck that ball up.
Yeah, let's take a look at the first half stats, and Kevin Caldwell did a great job of doing that in the first half, and he had 172 yards passing. You can see right there, 9 of 15, 2 touchdowns, pretty efficient, and he also had that big 31-yard rush on third and 26. Jaimir Tony's done a great job, 10 carries, 51 yards. He also does have a rushing touchdown. Done a great job through the air as well. He has a reception for 19 touchdowns. Rafael Rodriguez, he's doing it all. He had the rushing touchdown and the Wildcat, 3 receptions, 36 yards for a touchdown. And Javier Buffalo, Rasheem James, Mike Kane, all over 20 yards receiving. So you can see Franklin's offense, they're moving pretty well, and Caldwell's really spreading it out.
Just as you said, you can't key on one guy tonight for Ben Franklin. Kevin Caldwell's doing an excellent job not staring down any receivers. He's spreading the ball around, getting a chance to make a difference in this game. They're doing an excellent job with that.
And then we take a look at the Gratz stats as well. Musa Suleimani, he's had a pretty nice game. He had the rushing touchdown, 5 of 13, 81 yards. Not a terrible game, but he's had a couple of big plays. He had that big that big throw to C.J. Hall. But the big story for Gratz has been Luke White. Not only does he have the 9 carries, 93 yards, but Luke White also with 2 catches for 39 yards. And I think if Gratz to come back in this game, they've got to get Luke White the ball, whether it's on the ground or in the air.
Luke White needs at least 15 touches in the second half. 13 attempts for Musa is a lot for one half. It's probably the most passes that he's attempted in a half all season long. So again, you eliminate some of these penalties, you get Luke White that ball. He in a championship game like this, he needs to see at least another 10 carries. Get him over 20 carries, so you could keep that ball on the ground, run that ball effective over 10 yards a carry.
We're going to take another quick break here on the Halftime Report here on SFBN, presented by Payroll Service Solutions. When we come back, we'll take a little preview into the second half of this game, and we'll also take a look around the world of high school football, take a look at some scores in the city and in the suburbs, and we'll get you posted on all that stuff when we come back here on the Halftime Report here on the Sports Fan Base Network, presented by Payroll Service Solutions.
Hi, I'm Tommy Green, former pitcher for the Philadelphia Phillies. When I was in high school, it was very important to me to show scouts what I could do. My friends at Payroll Service Solutions are huge supporters of high school sports and the Sports Fan Base Network. If you're a small to medium-sized business in need of a payroll company, contact Payroll Service Solutions. Not only will they take care of you, they will continue to support the community. For more information, contact Payroll Service Solutions at 215-624-0922.
Welcome back. As you see, the teams are warming up here at Northeast Charlie Martin Memorial Stadium. On the right, Franklin on the left. Franklin leads 26-14 right now. Ari Bluestein, Eric Clark of the Northeast Vikings with you here on SFBN, presented by Payroll Service Solutions. And before we get back into this game, Eric, we're going to talk about our talk show, SFBN Talks High School Sports. It airs every other Wednesday at 6 p.m. on the Comcast Network, and including this Wednesday. And we're really going to get into depth about what's going on in the world of high school football. And just saw an update. Imhotep just tweeted out they playing Wood here next week for the city title game. So we're going to talk about that on our talk show, but talk about how big that game's going to be. I think it's going to be epic.
Hey, listen, that's got to be one of the biggest, most watched stadium-packed games in a very long time. You having Imhotep, who's a public school powerhouse over the last few years against Wood, who I think has won the last 3 or 4 3-8 championships right now.
Right, in the city, and they won 2 of the last 3 of the state level.
Yes,
yeah.
I have friends close, far and near, as far as Maryland, asking about this Imhotep Archbishop Wood matchup, and I'm pretty excited. I spent the last 2 years over at Imhotep, so everyone knows who I'm cheering for. I'm hoping Imhotep comes out with that big win and pretty much send a shockwave throughout the state on a 3A level.
Yeah, and take a look also in the suburban level. We're going to talk about that a little bit on our show. I don't know how much football you get to watch, Eric, but Coatesville and Downingtown East, they will play in the semis at the 4A level, and Pennsbury and Upper Dublin will play. I'll tell you what, you've got 4 very good football teams left in that District 1 4A bracket.
I actually I get plenty of updates from that Coatesville team. I have a coworker that gives me every single update on Coatesville. I think he's tired of hearing about District 12 and the Philadelphia schools. He has a lot of pride. He come into work this week with his Coatesville jacket, and he said, watch out for Coatesville once whoever comes out of District 12. They have a lot of talent, a lot of athletes out there as well. So, they'll be ready to play. But I'm sure whoever comes out of District 12, they'll be ready. But I think Coatesville has a really strong shot of getting out of their side of the bracket. Really, really good team. They do a lot of different things well.
Well, the second half is about underway, and make sure you visit our website, www.thesportsfanbasenetwork.com, for all the information about our talk show on the Comcast Network and our upcoming schedule. We've got basketball coming up soon. We're going to start it off with a bang, and make sure you check out our schedule, and you can watch all our past games as well. This game, it's going to be available on replay. I know you stated before this game started, you can't wait to watch the replay of that game.
Got to see what I look like in this booth, man.
You're pretty sharp, my friend.
Oh, thank you.
Eric Clark joining myself, Ari Bluestein, with you on SFBN. Second half about to start.
You make it look easy, Ari.
I've been doing it for a long time, Eric. You're fresh meat here, as
fresh
they say.
meat.
Well, the kickoff is received by Gratz, but not received very well by Sean Williams. He had a chance to return it a little bit, but he could not handle the kick, and he ended up having to just fall on it. And now the Bulldogs will start at their own 28. That's tough because he could have advanced it at least 10 yards.
Hey, listen, he had a great opportunity to have a big game. I know it's cliche to say this is the most important drive of the game, but, a score here could change the momentum of the game, or a 3-and-out could, have the ball in the Electrons' favor to claim that first championship in some years.
Yeah, what is that? Have these teams claimed? They've never claimed the 4A championship, right?
Neither one of these teams, that's the thing is, being a fan of Philadelphia Public League football, I wish my Northeast Vikings was in the mix right now, but it's really good to see two teams that was the doormat for a very long time, all through my era of playing football and, some years prior, getting back to, a respectable program.
Well, I remember talking to Ron Cohen over at Washington before the season started over the summer, and he said, watch out for Franklin. And he was right. They're undefeated. They haven't lost yet. Trying to keep that undefeated season going right now.
I actually had the honor of coaching with Coach Carter the last 2 All-Star games, so I kind of seen it coming. I've been hearing about this Electron team for a while.
That last handoff was to Luke White, and here's a screen out to Sean Williams on the bubble screen, and he dives forward for maybe a yard up to about the 30, but it's going to set up a 3rd and long.
That Electron defense look like they're back. They coming out of the pretty excited with some bouncing and stuff. They're running to that ball.
Well, this is, like you said, this is an important possession, but not only is it for Gratz, but for Franklin as well, because if the defense can stop the Bulldogs, get the ball in the hands of Caldwell, go up 3 scores early in the 3rd, that's going to be a tough hill to climb for Simon Gratz.
I don't think anyone, I'm not just saying Gratz, but not too many schools are built to, play behind in the second half down 3 scores. So you're exactly right with that point.
Suleimani under center, and it's a pitch to White, and it's going to be a
pass.
halfback pass. He throws it deep, and it is just overthrown, intended for Sean Williams. But Luke White, he's got a nice little arm on him. Unfortunately, it was not complete there down the far sideline.
He looks like he's done it before. Pretty good arm.
Yeah, I believe
Great
actually.
play call.
Yeah, he's
excellent discipline as far as those 2 defensive backs there.
1 for 2 for 38 yards and a touchdown this year in the air for Luke White. So we should have seen that coming at some point.
At some point, you pull out all the tricks in your bag in a championship game.
So now Simon Gratz will have to punt it away. This is Peter Gerba. Back to return the dangerous Rafael Rodriguez. It's a fake. Sean Williams is going to take it. He goes to the outside. Can he get to the marker? I think he just did. It's going to be close. It's going to be very, very close. Now the Gratz offense is coming back onto the field thinking they have it. Let's see if they give it to him.
They're making these officials work tonight.
First down. What a great play. Well, I'll tell you what. That was a great time to pull that play out if you're Coach Eric Zappe. Because, you're down 2 scores. You're about to punt it back to one of the best quarterbacks in the public league. You catch him off guard. Great job.
It's now or never for this team. I'm sure his message out of the halftime is we have to have a successful drive. Might not have to be points, but, having that ball deep in your end right there wasn't a good look.
I thought that was a great fake, very nicely executed. Sean Williams just got to the marker for the first down at the 38-yard line. A Suleimani shotgun. It's a keeper on the option, and he is taken down hard. And that's going to be our All-American Sporting Goods hard hit of the game as a Suleimani was taken down to the ground. For all your sports equipment and apparel needs, shop at All-American Goods located at the corner of Cottman and Tabor in Northeast Philadelphia. For more information, call 215-342-6141. There's been quite a few hard hits in today's game, but that time Suleimani, I think it was a tougher hit when his head hit the turf right there on that takedown.
He's been taking some shots. I commend him. He's popping right on up, and he's fighting through every play.
2nd and 13 following the sack. Whitfield pitch to Luke White. He's got some room to the outside across the 40, and he's wrapped up, tackled out of bounds right around the 45. And again, as we said at halftime, got to get the ball to Luke White.
Got to get Luke the ball. He's been averaging over 10 yards a carry. That actually play might have went for about 12 itself.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be 3rd and a short 1 right at around the 47-yard line. So, yeah, that's a 12-yard gain right there. And he's up over the 100-yard.
He's up over the 100-yard mark. You're controlling the clock. Nice steady drive. Gratz is putting together a nice drive right now.
That's a huge play because if they pass it, it's an incompletion. They're in 3rd and 13. So 3rd and 1 now. It's a keeper, Suleimani. He's got it. He's up to midfield. That's going to be another Bulldog first down. Musa Suleimani not scared to go up the gut right there into the trench for sure.
Yes, that huge offensive line protecting him. So I'm sure they're telling him, just get up on this hip. We're going to take you for a ride.
Yeah, Charlie Tamite, 6'3", 260. Jordan Chambers, 6'1", 255. Raekwon Thomas, 6'4", 305. Clifton Maroney, 6'2", 290. And Cameron Brown, 6'2", 265. Yeah, that's a pretty big line right there.
They're huge, and I think they're all juniors, and they're all coming back. So
not good news for you there.
Not good news at all.
We got a flag. The play starts.
You can always replace skill players in the city. It's a bunch of skill players in the city, but you can't go and find 6'4", 305 all the time.
I know that's something when you were the defensive backs coach at Imhotep, you saw that. Imhotep, that's something that gives them a competitive advantage in the public league and also allows them to compete on the same level as like Archbishop would, that front line.
The difference between that team is, everyone hears about all the dynamic skill players, but it's always in the trenches. That D-line and that O-line is which wins the ball games. They move the line of scrimmage. Sometimes backs don't get touched 5 and 6 yards down the field.
That last penalty was a neutral zone infraction on Franklin, 1st and 5. Oh, and the pass is dropped by Williams. That was a nice pass by a Suleimani, but it's going to go down as an incompletion as the ball just went off the fingertips of Sean Williams.
That was a great ball, missed opportunity for Gratz.
2nd down and 5. Well, thankfully with the penalty on 1st down, still they're in a pretty good situation here on 2nd down and 5.
Yep.
Over 8 minutes remaining here in quarter number 3. Gratz down 12, looking to try and cut that lead potentially in half. Luke White dives forward almost to the 40, and it'll be another 3rd down and short for Simon Gratz.
That kid fall forward every single time. It's a tough run. You got to continue to feed him the ball.
It's a 4-yard gain for White. 12 carries, 110 yards unofficially for Luke White. Another big 3rd down play. I would think that's got to be 2-down territory here. Yep. If they don't get it. Are you do quarterback keeper again?
I'll do it again. That offensive line moving.
Franklin's kind of smelling it.
Yeah, they are.
Oh, nice fake.
Good run.
And it's Roan, the fullback. And he's tackled out of bounds for the 1st down. I think Franklin, they were all up. They were looking for the QB sneak.
They were ready
too.
for the sneak. That was a great call after converting that sneak.
It's a gain up to the 35, gain of 6 for Chris Roan. And as we said, he's a big part of this run game. 3 carries, 15 yards for him.
Hey, there's an extra guard out there in the power run game. You give him the ball a few times and he'll go. I love watching him run, a former Imhotep player that I coached in the past as well.
Up the gut, I believe that's Roan again. Dives forward for a gain of about 4.
Gratz is doing an excellent job controlling this clock right now. Getting small chunks. Continue to move those sticks.
Even more importantly here now, this is play number 12 of this drive. Eating up some clock right here.
Eating up some clock and keeping Kevin Caldwell off the field. That's the best defense for you.
Whoa, with Suleimani, quarterback sneak, and he had some room. Quarterback sneak on 2nd and 6, and he gets the 1st down. That's pretty darn good right there.
That's really good. The pay is really pulling everything he got out right now. This is that drive, a must-have drive. Suleimani's throwing the ball a ton in the 1st half, and now we're actually getting to see him run a few sneaks in the 2nd half.
And how about this, Ben Franklin's? They have to call a timeout. They're feeling a little winded here. They take their first timeout with 6.5 minutes to play. All right, we'll keep it right here. Ari Bluestein, Eric Clark with you. Again, you're watching the League 4A championship game here on the Sports Fan Base Network presented by Payroll Service Solutions. And the winner of this game will play St. Joseph's Prep right here back at Northeast on Saturday at 3:30 p.m. on the Comcast Network. And that's the second of the doubleheader. The first game, of course, the big one, 11:30 in the morning, Imhotep and Wood. And I'll tell you what, for everybody who watches college football on Saturdays, tune in at 11:30 to the Comcast Network. You're going to see a pretty good football game between the Imhotep Panthers and the Archbishop Wood Vikings.
Initially, I thought that was, you should try to move that game down, make it prime time. But just like you said, with college football rolling, everyone in the area should wake up a little early and check that game out.
Pitch to Luke White here on first down, cuts it up inside, and he's tackled right around the 16. And again, a nice chunk of yardage for Mr. Luke White.
Again, Luke is picking up positive yards.
It'll be second down and 4. Gain of 6 for Luke White. 13 carries, 116 yards for Luke White, the 5'8", 150-pound junior. We're just at about the midway point. Actually, we're past the midway point. Handoff. That might have been Roan. Maybe got a yard.
I tell you this much, this drive is really shortened in this second half. That was a long first half with all the passing Ben Franklin did.
So 3rd and 4 now. Suleimani and the Gratz Bulldogs trying to cut this lead in half here in this championship game. Whitfield in motion. It's White, and he is swallowed up, but he pushes the pile, and he is close to a first down, but it looks like they're going to be a good yard short, up to about the 14. So 4th down. Big fourth down play.
Big fourth down. Ben Franklin can stop this good drive with a big play. I think Gratz got a lot out of this drive, win or lose, on this 4th down right here.
I like maybe a pitch to the far side of the field because it's the strong side of the field over there. You got a lot of room.
Use that speed that you guys got out there. Use the wide side of the field and give him 2 different options to cut it back or string it out some.
Let's see what they do. And there you go. That was the play. Oh, and the flag. That was the play right there. I called that one.
You called it. Ben Franklin was all over it. That defensive end play contained right away, got upfield.
Is that on Franklin?
It's looking like it by the
Gratz
Gratz
fans
cheer.
are cheering right below us. Another neutral zone infraction on Franklin, and they're going to give him the first down. Wow.
Yeah, usually they let neutral zone infractions play out, just like we said. So it's
going to be 1st and goal from just inside the 10-yard line. Luke White up the gut, and he's met by a wall of Electron players. Oh, we've got a late flag coming in.
Another flag.
It's going to be probably unnecessary roughness. The question is, who's it going to be on? See the officials talking it over. Franklin players are clapping. That's against Gratz. That might push him back 15 yards. Let's see what the call is. Personal foul on Gratz. That's tough. And, man, I'll tell you, we've been saying it. Penalties have played a huge factor in this game.
You're driving. 15-yard penalties.
Oof, they're back all the way to the 22.
I don't think any team as defense has really stopped each other's offense. It's been these big penalties that have been stopping these long drives.
Well, now it's 2nd and goal from the 22. That's a tough situation that you're in right now.
I say you just run your regular offense when you're in this situation and hope something, pops.
The tough part about that play is it happened after the Luke White run.
After the Luke White run, after the play, you have to be mindful. Just get up and get back in the huddle.
Suleimani's going to pass on 2nd down. He's going deep to the corner, and it is incomplete. Sean Williams was tipping it around a little bit. He went up to get it.
He's getting some opportunities now.
He is. Couldn't come down with it. 3rd and goal from the 22.
Both of these quarterbacks can really throw this ball. Some good touch. Excellent defense as well by that cornerback. Not committing to personal pass interference.
Yeah, that was good coverage right there. I believe that was Rafael Rodriguez on the outside. We've said his name quite a few times here tonight. Now, Suleimani in the shotgun. The rush is coming. He's fleeing from the pocket. He's got some room. Is he going to run? Oh, and he throws it, and he's hit as he throws. Ruled an incomplete pass. Well, Suleimani, man, he was running for his life on that play.
Scrambling for his life, trying to make a play.
Again, I believe I saw 44 Brian Harvey in the mix there.
Wherever you see the ball, you can see that kid Harvey there. His pursuit angles are good. He has a good motor, and he's fast.
And after a drive that has taken up almost 12 minutes of time.
I've never seen a drive take up almost the entire quarter.
And now they're in a 4th and essentially 22. It's basically boom or bust right here.
Boom or bust.
This might be the biggest. This could be the play of the game right here, because if Gratz doesn't score, Franklin gets the ball back, and with not a lot of time left, it's going to be trouble.
That's when controlling the clock can actually come back to bite you.
Now, as a DB, obviously you're going to be back in the end zone on this.
Exactly, and I'm my defense ends and my D linemen to put
nice
pressure
job.
on.
Great pass breakup by Franklin. I think Sean Williams wanted a penalty, but that was a great job on the pass breakup. That might have been Tony back there.
Excellent job jumping in front of him, batting it down, knowing the situation.
So a drive that lasts almost 12 minutes and goes about 18 plays.
Wow.
Ends in turnover on downs.
18-play drive. You don't hear about them too many times.
Yep, 17 plays in 11 minutes and 46 seconds. And here's the screen out to the outside as Franklin takes over. And a nice chunk of yardage right there for Rasheem James.
Just when you think Caldwell might have got a little cold, he's coming right out hot already, getting that ball out quick. I'd be surprised if they take half the amount of plays in their drive.
Yeah, this is kind of like Chip Kelly of the Eagles he has to slow it down.
Exactly.
Like Franklin only knows one speed.
Right, you have to slow it down now.
They're running the ball here a little bit with Tony.
And he fumbles.
Oh, he fumbled the ball. It's Gratz's ball. Are you kidding me? Oh, my goodness.
That's, I believe, the first turnover. Big turnover of the game.
Wow. That is unreal. Tony runs and fumbles it and turns it over. Franklin, they're winning this game by 12, but I'll tell you what, Eric, they're giving Gratz plenty of opportunities to get back into this game.
Hey, listen, they're still in this game right now. It's a two-score game with a whole quarter and 2:58 left on the clock. You take advantage of that big turnover right now, cash it in for some points. It's a one-score game. If I'm right now, I stick to the script. You're not in a panic desperation mode. Continue to run the ball.
So Gratz is going to start at the Electron 38-yard line, and just when you think the Bulldogs might be done, Franklin gives them another chance.
Can't give them light.
And the Electrons have played a pretty good ball game today, but I would tell you over the last several possessions, they have not done a good job.
They started out hot and started to fizzle just a little.
There's a carry out to the outside by Luke White.
Even when you don't think Luke's, having big rushing yards, he still picks up 3 and 4. Got to continue to get him to rock. He needs to see the ball 20 times by the end of this game.
I would definitely agree. 16 carries, 124 yards unofficially here for Luke White. Big night for him. Now we'll see if the Gratz Bulldogs can make it a big night for themselves. Down 12 points. Got to get a score right here. Got to cash in on this turnover. Luke White on the misdirection. Powers forward inside. Dives forward. And they're going to mark him down at about the 33. Gain of a couple.
Big third down. This is, again, 2 down territory regardless. Try to convert this first down.
I think, again, yeah, you're in 2 down territory. I would agree there. We've seen the Simon Gratz offense on the field for pretty much this entire third quarter. And no points to show for it yet. Inside handoff to Roan. He's got the first down and a lot more. He's going down the far sideline. He bowls his way forward inside the 5. Chris Roan, another big-time run from the bowling ball himself.
Beautiful run. You see those legs churning. He picked up the top speed.
Got the Bulldogs chance down there. Well, the fans are feeling it a little bit.
Infamous Bulldog chant. Normally hear that at a Gratz basketball game in the 90s or in the early 2000s.
Yeah. 28 yards for Chris Roan. Here's a handoff inside. And it's going to be down at about the 2. Gain of a couple.
I say give it right back to Rome.
Yeah, I believe that was Sean Williams on the carry. He's had a tough day. He carries 7 yards for him. 2 receptions, 9 yards. He had a couple of drops as well.
All it takes is one big play.
We're now under a minute here in the third quarter. Let's see, are they going to keep running it up the gut? Let's see. Suleimani hands it off to the second man through. That's Williams. He's in. Touchdown, Simon Gratz. And, man, after all that time in the third quarter, you can see the Gratz fans right there. They're pretty happy about it. They get a score, and they're now down 1 touchdown.
Can you believe that?
After all that, they have that 17-play drive that leads to nothing, and then Jameer Toney, he fumbles it, and Gratz gets a touchdown.
That's a big play in a big game. Just like that, you can see some of the Gratz kids bouncing on their toes. They're pretty excited. This is going to be a beautiful fourth quarter.
So now what does Simon Gratz do? I guess at this point, looks like Suleimani is staying on the field. Oh, no, is there going to be a timeout here? This is a big play. I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter all that much, but if you can get the 2 here, and you could somehow score a touchdown, you get the lead.
Right. Now if you miss this and you try to score again, that extra point or that 2-point conversion could possibly win the game. So you're in a win-win situation right now.
Make sure you follow us on Twitter at @the_SFBN. Or tweet out as much as we can. Follow us on Instagram as well. And there is an injury down on the far side of the field. Take a look at the Simon Gratz sideline there. All right, we're going to take a quick break here with 31 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Gratz has made this a 1-score ball game. We'll be right back. They've actually cleared off the injury, so we're going to take our break in between quarters here on SFBN. So hang right with us. Simon Gratz back onto the field. Asuleimani to White up the gut. I don't know if he got it.
I think he's short. Oh, they're saying he's in.
Conversion is good for Luke White. Makes it a 26-22 game. Well, that could really be interesting here in the fourth quarter. This has been such an emotional roller coaster of a game, Eric, because Franklin looked like they had a chance to ice the win. Gratz had chances where they looked like they could come back. They couldn't convert. And then all of a sudden the fumble, and they do convert. Man, it's been all over the place today.
A tale of two games in different halves. I guess you could say the Gratz defense looked good. The best defense is Gratz offense right now, and keeping that Franklin offense off the field for all the 2 plays of basically the whole quarter.
So Gratz will kick it off again. Peter Gerba. Thank you for watching here on SFBN, presented by Payroll Service Solutions. And if you've been watching this whole game, you've been watching a good one. And if you're just joining us, well, you missed a heck of a lot of football so far. Stay tuned for a great fourth quarter. There's 31 seconds left here in the third. Gerba's going to kick it off. Let's see if he kicks it deep. And it's down the middle, right to Rodriguez at the 20. He's trying to get to the outside. Gratz seals the outside edge, and they take down Rodriguez. That was number 12. Byron Williams in on the tackle for the Bulldogs. So the Electrons will start in their own territory, right at around the 37-yard line. There's a face mask on Simon Gratz after the play.
Penalties again.
Wow. A lot of flags being called. And look at this. This is going to be huge for Ben Franklin. March all the way up to the 48-yard line.
Great kick coverage. Turn around and add 15 more to that. A little bit of a bunch formation at the bottom of the screen.
And we've got a stoppage here. Another flag on Simon Gratz.
Hey, Ari, what's up, buddy?
First and 5. Wow, 20 yards of penalties here, Eric.
Before they even take a first snap. How about that?
Well, now Caldwell goes back to work. Wide receiver screen. This is out to Rasheem James. Making a couple of moves, now cutting up inside, reversing Fields. He's got some blockers. He's still going. And he dives down close to the 15-yard line.
Look at all those big Electron linemen make their way downfield. It's coming back.
Coming all the way back. Another penalty. Now, I'm not keeping track of penalties, but I would tend to guess it's up near 20.
Up near 20.
Yeah.
At least 100 yards per team.
It's going to end up being a 1st and 10, actually, because they started at the 5, so it was a 5-yard. I guess it was maybe a 10-yard penalty from the spot. So they're going to end up being where they started at their own 48. And I believe the time has expired here in quarter number 3, and that's going to be it. So we're going to go to a commercial break. The fourth quarter will start when we come back. Don't go away. Public League 4A championship action here live on the Sports Fan Base Network, presented by Payroll Service Solutions.
Hi, I'm Marty Bice,
pitcher for the Philadelphia Phillies. In my experience in Major League Baseball, I know how important it is for high school athletes to gain exposure. My friends at Payroll Service Solutions are huge supporters of high school sports and the Sports Fan Base Network. If you are a small to medium-sized business in need of a payroll company, contact Payroll Service Solutions. Not only will they take care of you, they will continue to support the community. For more information, contact Payroll Service Solutions at 215-624-0922 or 866.
Back fourth quarter underway. We've got Robert Coleman, the PIAA District 12 chair in the house. Our biggest supporter. Caldwell in the shotgun. Being chased. It's a screen. This is to Ed Dennis. Dennis on the run up to the 35, and that's a Franklin Electron first down.
First time hearing his name. What a great time to make a play. Start that fourth quarter.
Ends up being a gain of 17 yards on the completion.
Both teams run screen really, really well.
Well, we saw to start the game, I believe it was Tony
Yep.
on the screen, 9 for 19 yards.
Very first play.
The Electrons need a score here to solidify that lead because right now it's less than a one-touchdown lead at 4 points.
And all the momentum has switched.
Oh,
Congrats.
big time hit. Oh, we've got a flag coming in. I don't know if he got some face mask. That was number 54, Laquan Simon, the star defensive tackle who dove in and grabbed Jaimir Tony to the ground. Let's see what the flag is here.
It's looking
Yeah,
like
that's a face mask. Yep. Now the Gratz sideline not liking that. I mean, obviously I'm not down on the field, so I don't know. But he grabbed him and swung him around. I thought he got him by the shoulder pads. What did you think, Eric?
It was pretty close. I'm not sure. Like you say up here, we don't have the best view. But maybe it was one hand on the shoulder pads and the other on the face mask.
Well, like we said, the officials are right down there. The Gratz sideline didn't like it, but another tough penalty against the Bulldogs.
Got to get that target down just a little lower.
Yep. 1st and 10.
Got the bunch up top.
Yep. Trips bunch to the far side. Another wide receiver screen again to number 11, Rasheem James. This time he doesn't really go anywhere. Nice job, nice tackle by number 20, Samed Shabazz, otherwise known as Noom Shabazz.
Great job blowing that screen up, that little hitch rocket screen.
James has been active today. 5 receptions for 60 yards. But he didn't go anywhere on that one. 2nd and 10. Caldwell fakes the screen this time. He's going deep. And it is nearly intercepted. Stepping in front of that was Byron Williams. It hit him in the numbers, and he couldn't come up with it.
Excellent discipline by the DBs, being in position to make that play. They didn't bite up on that hitch that he threw just the play previous. And Caldwell throwing in double coverage. He haven't made too many mistakes tonight. That could have cost him.
That really could have. There's been a couple of times where Gratz has had a chance to pick it off, and they couldn't quite do it. So now we've got 3rd and 10. What do you think here? Still 2 down territory for Franklin?
I think so. We haven't seen anything as far as a field goal, and I wouldn't punt it here. So I will go and get half and half.
Caldwell back to pass. He's looking deep. He's going deep, and he's got a receiver open, and it's caught by Rafael Rodriguez down at the 2.
Beautiful.
Perfect. I talk about the touch.
Beautiful throw. Just like I said, he put that ball where only his receiver can get it or it goes out of bounds. And Rafael Macho Rodriguez goes and attacks that ball at his highest point.
Rodriguez, 4 receptions, 59 yards, and a touchdown, and he also has a rushing touchdown out of the Wildcat today.
He's doing a little bit of it all, playing a little defense as
yeah.
well.
He's had a couple of pickups. All right, now 1st and goal from the 2 for the Electrons, trying to put this one away. And the handoff does go to Rodriguez. And he is stopped at the 1. And Simon Gratz, I think they were ready for that one.
They were ready for it.
2nd and goal. Again with the no huddle for the Ben Franklin Electrons. Caldwell under center. What do you think? Maybe a keeper?
It has to be. First time I've seen him under all game.
Oh, and he
Ooh.
gets pushed back. Well,
Gratz.
that's the problem, and I kind of see that with the Philadelphia Eagles,
I
too.
was just thinking that.
When you don't ever see anybody under center if you're the quarterback. And that time, I think they realized that was definitely going to be a sneak.
With a lot of these spread offenses in college and in the NFL, you see them having their most trouble in the red zone.
All right, 3rd and goal. Back to the 2-yard line after a loss of 1 on that attempted sneak. Now Caldwell back in the pistol. He's got 2 receivers split out to the near side. And it's a direct snap, and it's a reverse. Buffalo's going to pass it, and it is incomplete. That was Kevin Caldwell going out for the pass on the reverse wide receiver pass.
Beautifully designed play, great trickery. But that's a time when you're having the wrong people throw the ball and the wrong people catching the ball.
Well, now it's 4th and goal from the 2. That I tell you what, that was a great play.
Great
like you said,
play.
it was the wrong person throwing the ball, but Buffalo had some nice touch on it, just overthrew Caldwell just a little bit.
Just a little. And, Buffalo, Caldwell catches so many shotgun snaps, so he should have pretty good hands. They're attempting a field goal.
Look at this. Here comes a field goal. Ismail Yasaka. This is going to be his. If he makes this, this is his first field goal of the year.
Well, this is actually an extra point.
Yeah, pretty much. Low snap. And it's good.
Oh, wow.
How about that? The field goal is good for Saka. Makes it a 29-22 game. And that, I think, was actually a pretty good decision by Coach David Carter.
Great decision by Coach Carter. That makes it a one-score game. The most they can do is tie with an extra point. They will have to go for 2 to try to win this game.
I think now that'll be interesting if that comes around.
Exactly.
If Gratz could come down, have one of their long drives, they get a touchdown, then what do you do? Do you take it to overtime against the talented quarterback Kevin Caldwell, or do you go for it all?
You go for it all in that situation. You haven't shown extra point yet. Just by the way this game has been going, momentum is switched to your side. You go for the win. Give the fans what they want to see.
This has been a great game. Thank you to everyone for watching. And a reminder that the replay of this game will be available on our on-demand page at www.thesportsfanbasenetwork.com.
I'm just glad I'm not the guy having to make those decisions right now. Excellent ball game down the stretch in this 4th quarter.
Here's the kickoff. And it's a short kick. And Gratz is going to have great field position up at their own 45 after the return by number 8, C.J. Hall. Ari Bluestein, Eric Clark here with you. Coming to you live from Northeast High School's Charlie Martin Memorial Stadium. Eric, game so far.
Great game. I'm just thinking about that last drive. They definitely got points out of it, but to get that close right in the red zone at the 2-yard line, a touchdown would have really gave you some cushion in this game.
Here's the first play, and it's a pitch to Luke White across midfield, and he's finally dragged down by Franklin's number 9, Deshaun Polson. But not before it's a Simon Gratz first down.
Luke White still running that ball hard. Keep feeding him the ball. He's getting closer to that 150 mark.
Yeah, it's a gain of 14 yards. 18 carries, 140.
140, wow.
Suleimani under center. Again to White. Gut. Again gets to the second level, and he's dragged down from behind by Ben Franklin's number 40. That's Aaron Long. Luke White, like you said, continuing to run hard here.
Gratz does a great job staying poised, sticking to the script. A lot of schools being down 2 scores, they can get out of what they do and somewhat panic. They're doing a great job just sticking to the script.
Fake pitch, the handoff to Roan up the gut, but Franklin seen that play a time or two, and they were ready for it.
Big third down.
Roan's had a nice game, 7 carries, 49 yards, 7 yards a carry.
Wow. I didn't even notice he touched the ball 7 times.
Yeah, he had the big 11-yard run early, 28-yard run down there to set up the last score.
Good job, Chris Roan.
3rd and 4 for the Simon Gratz Bulldogs. Big third down, as you just mentioned, Eric. Both for this Franklin defense and the Gratz offense.
This is one of those times where play action may be coming.
Suleimani pitches it to White. Gets to the outside. Bowls over a Franklin defender. And that's going to set up a 4th and short.
Nice hard run. Good job by the Electron defense running to the ball. Good physical play by both teams.
Timeout on the field, I believe. Oh no, they just stopped the clock for a moment. 4th and a long 2. This is it right here.
Big play right here, 4th and 2. Could be a little bit about 2.5. Well, Gratz keep the clock, keep their drive going.
You could feel the tension here in the stadium. Big 4th and 2 play.
There's definitely a buzz on the stadium right now.
6 minutes to play now. Suleimani under center. Man in motion. Oh, Franklin jumped! Franklin jumped, and that's the second time that the Electrons have given Gratz a 4th down conversion.
Penalties, penalties, penalties.
You said it, Eric. All game long on both sides. It hasn't been the cleanest championship game, but it's certainly been a pretty exciting one. And right now, Gratz has a fresh set of downs at the Electron 28. Gratz was sitting there waiting for Franklin to jump, and they got him to jump. Handoff inside. Oh, and a big play right there. A little bit of anger coming out on the Franklin Electrons. And again, that's my man Brian Harvey throwing back the runner.
Physical football player. He's not the biggest guy, but he has a huge heart.
Yeah, Brian Harvey, 5'7", 180. Not your typical linebacker size, but he, like you said, he throws around the ball. He just has a nose for the ball.
You know it. Not a linebacker by measurements and weight, but he's all linebacker and heart. I'll tell you that much.
You see him right there. He's the heart of this defense. 2nd down and 9 for Simon Gratz. Misdirection. Luke White trying to get to the outside. He's got room. He's across the 30. 1st down. And he is pushed out of bounds at around the 5-yard line. Actually, they're going to mark him down at around the 8. And it's going to be 1st and goal for the Bulldogs of Simon Gratz.
Beautiful call, a little misdirection. Had a lot of the Electron defense shifting to the one side. Gave a little counter step and found that edge.
21 carries, 167 yards for Luke White.
He might be getting close to some type of public school record for a championship game.
Yeah, I don't know. Suleimani's going to keep it. And I didn't see where he was down. Okay, they're going to mark him down at around the 3. Gain of 5 for Musa Suleimani.
So as we talked about earlier, it's that big decision. You score, do you go in for the extra point to tie it? Or do you go try to take that lead with the 2-point conversion?
We did talk about
We
that
talked
just a
about
moment
it.
ago. Well, they got to get 6 first.
Yeah, didn't think we would get to that point, but
Yeah, I know. A couple times we realized it would. Phew. We're approaching the 4-minute mark. How big does that field goal look right about now?
it's huge right now.
Handoff to White. Bounces off a couple of tacklers, pushes forward, maybe gets a yard up to about the 2. Actually, they had marked down to Suleimani at the 4 on the last play. I just realized that. So it's a gain of 2 for Luke White. And a timeout is called by the Ben Franklin Electron. So we're going to step away real quick. Big play coming up. Can Simon Gratz tie it up, or do they want to take the lead? Stay tuned. It's going to be interesting coming up next on SFBN. The Simon Gratz Bulldogs right there. They're knocking on the door. Ari Bluestein, Eric Clark with you. You're watching the Sports Fan Base Network presented by Payroll Service Solutions. The Public League 4A Championship game. The winner will go on to play Joseph's Prep in the city title game next week. Asuleimani under center. 3rd and goal from the 3. It's a pitch to White. Cuts it up inside. Oh, a beautiful tackle. That was number 42, Darren Turner.
Touchdown saving tackle.
Oh, no, excuse me, 62, Taj Clea.
He's also one of those tackles on the offensive side of the ball.
Wow. That looked like that was going to be 6, and Franklin calls another timeout. Wow.
I thought he could walk right on in.
Unbelievable.
That's just 1-2 right there. Down, you're back against the wall. Senior year, you want to win a championship, you go and you make a play by any means necessary.
Yeah, that was Taj Clea, 6'4", 230-pound defensive tackle. And I think I could see Luke White on the sideline. I think he's as shocked as everybody else because he saw pay dirt.
I thought he could walk right on in.
And
this kid flew on in.
That pitch has been working great for Simon Gratz today. And I'll tell you what, at 6'4", 230, Taj Clea, he moved quick to the outside.
He showed a nice burst of speed right there, just in time.
All right, this is the game. We've said, like, this is a big play. This is a big possession. This is the game. Right here, right now, 4th and 1. Can Simon Gratz get in the end zone? Asuleimani under center to Williams. He's in, but there's a flag. There's a flag.
Wow, more penalties.
Now, I did see number 22, Sean Jenkins of Simon Gratz, kind of lean forward. That might be on Gratz. Let's see what the call is. Illegal shift. That's what it was.
Wow.
Illegal shift on Simon Gratz. Now, did they rule that he got in? Because obviously Franklin could decline it, but it looks like he would have got in if it wasn't for the illegal shift.
Exactly.
He didn't get set. I saw him. He was in motion, and he, like, stopped and then, like, leaned forward.
The slightest move.
And that slight lean has just possibly cost Simon Gratz the game. 4th and 6 now. I should say 4th and goal from the 6. Wow.
This is what you live for, though.
All right, here we go. The Bulldogs, they need 6 yards to get to the end zone. If they don't, Ben Franklin takes over on downs. Musa Asuleimani under center. A man in motion. The pitch to White. Tries to get to the outside, and he is not in, but we have another flag. Another flag. Franklin is happy, but you have Asuleimani clap it.
Now, the difference in this flag is he didn't get in, so you could possibly decline this.
Right, but who's it on? It's a hold on Gratz.
Yep.
It will be declined, and it's a turnover on downs. And Ben Franklin has a 7-point lead, and they have the ball with 3 minutes and 8 seconds remaining here in this championship game.
Now, can they sustain? They can get 2-3 first downs and try to start icing. I know it's hard for Ben Franklin, but they may have to go under center, maybe want to run a few ISO plays, a few zone reads. Now it's all about the clock.
Well, Simon Gratz, good for them. They've got 3 timeouts remaining. That might be a piece of good news right here. And another piece of good news is Jaimier Tony has 1 fumble already when Simon Gratz last turned it over on downs.
With that being said, anything can happen. Still a lot of time, a lot of timeouts.
You got to get out of the back of the end zone here, right? You're on the 1 yard line.
1 yard line.
Caldwell hands it off inside. Is that a safety? It's a safety. Franklin hands the ball off to Ed Dennis, and he gets thrown back for safety. Wow.
Spread teams when you just need 1 yard in the red zone and when you're back up against the wall. That's the bad part about not being under center when you need to be.
Now Simon Gratz is going to get the ball back down 5, and they can win it with a touchdown. This game has been unreal in terms of the turning points in momentum.
A true roller coaster ride when all the momentum is definitely shifting on Gratz's side at this point.
The fans are going nuts here at Charlie Martin Memorial Stadium.
Bulldog chants are going.
Got the Bulldog chants. There they are right there. You see the Simon Gratz cheerleaders. Yeah, I know that's that one injured player there for Gratz. He's trying to get them pumped up. Wow. So the safety with 3:05 remaining makes it a 29-24 ball game. And this is a free kick, and Gratz gets the ball.
Gratz never led this game, but they stayed true to what they believe. Kept playing hard to the whistle. Good things that happen. And they're putting themselves in position with the ball. 3 minutes and 5 seconds left to win their first public league championship in a while.
What a game. Thank you for sticking with us here on SFBN, presented by Payroll Service Solutions. And we've still got a good amount of football left here, Eric Clark.
Yes, we do. Exciting time. Giving the fans what they paid for.
That's for sure. Gratz is going to have phenomenal position. Sean Williams into Electron territory across the 40. Down to about the 38. And I'll tell you what, this Gratz crowd, they can feel it right now. They need 38 yards to get a championship.
38 yards.
First and 10 for the Bulldogs. Handoff inside to Roan. He's got some room down the far side. First down.
There's a bunch of laundry on the field. 2 flags are down.
Oh, 2 flags. That's going to be a flag. I believe that's on Gratz, correct? Yeah, they're going to take it back. Man, penalties, we've been saying all game. It's got to be up to 25 now or something.
You know it. Whichever team comes out with this win, I'm sure they'll look back, the losers per se, but look back on these penalties.
First and 17. The ball back at the Electron 45. Suleiman, the shotgun, trips to the near side, I should say. He's going deep down the far side, and it is dropped.
Right off the fingertips.
It was thrown in stride to Kenneth Bennett, and it was off the fingertips and incomplete.
Beautiful ball.
Oh, it doesn't get any better than that, Eric.
Stood in there, took a big shot. Put it right where you got to come down with that big fella.
A deep ball does not get thrown any better than that in stride. I will say that's probably the best throw I've seen all night.
Hey, listen, this is 2 really, really good senior quarterbacks on display tonight. I'm sure some university needs to take a special look at both of these guys.
Second and 17 for the Bulldogs. You're watching championship football right here. Suleimani going deep again. He's got another man, and it is incomplete. Intended for Whitfield. No flag. Pass broken up. I believe that was Ed Dennis on the breakup for Ben Franklin. And I'll tell you what, this Franklin secondary has done a pretty good job tonight. They have about maybe 4 or so pass deflections.
Hey, that was pretty good cover. That was pretty close, but you could face guard on this level. He wasn't touching him. Made a play through the receiver's hands right in the nick of time.
Right, I guess that would be the difference between here and the NFL, because you face guard, you're not looking at the ball.
Hey, that's what that on that next level every single time.
Third and 17 for the Gratz Bulldogs. Obviously, it's 2-down territory. Got to get some kind of chunky yardage here. Asuleimani back to pass again. He's got time. He's going deep. He's looking for Whitfield. Oh, and he's hit. That's a big hit by Rafael Macho Rodriguez. Incomplete, and Whitfield is down.
That's the way you play center field. That's how you play that free safety position. Very rangy, middle of the field, get from hash to hash.
You see Whitfield is down, and that was just a great play by Rodriguez. It's unfortunate that Whitfield got the bad end of that hit, but that's a great play by Rodriguez, like you mentioned, playing center field right there. And now we'll keep it right here during the injury. And as they take a look at Whitfield, this here is maybe the game yet again. 4th and 17. And Asuleimani has thrown some good balls. Now, here's a question to you, Eric. As good as Asuleimani has thrown here over the last couple of plays, they've gone away from Luke White.
That is exactly what I was getting ready to say. That penalty, actually put them back to what, they felt more in a panic situation where they had to throw the ball. I think they still could have ran the ball effectively and, made it more of a manageable, 3rd and 8 than this 4th and 15, 16 that they're actually putting themselves into. So, even though, Asuleimani some good balls, his receivers, haven't come down with it, in this last drive. I would like to see them run that ball. They still had plenty of time on the clock. But
right, I maybe 1st and 2nd down, you run it, then you throw the ball. I mean,
sometimes penalties discourage you to the point where you feel like you have to put it on 3 consecutive passes. It will be a 4th one right here.
And I'm not even criticizing the Gratz coaches, because if that ball is caught by Bennett, we're
it's a different story.
We're singing a different tune. All right, here we go. 4th and 17. Asuleimani being chased. He's hit. The ball comes loose. Ball's on the ground. Franklin has it. It's their ball anyway. Turnover on downs.
That might be the ball game.
Well, that could be. We've seen that a couple of times. We said that a couple of times there.
Oh, man. It's more flags.
More flags. Well, that's probably going to be after the play, probably unsportsmanlike over on the Franklin sideline. Half their team rushed the field. There's still 2:18 left.
A little premature.
Yeah, and Gratz still has all 3 timeouts.
Wow.
Yeah, unsportsmanlike. Yeah, absolutely. I definitely agree with that. You can't have the team running onto the field, especially with 2:18 left. It's not like there's triple zeros on the clock.
Still plenty of time left.
So Franklin pushes themselves back into their own territory on their own 29. And on their last 3 possessions, Eric, they've had a fumble, a field goal, and then they were tackled in the end zone on a safety by Gratz. So the last 3 possessions have not been very efficient here for the Electrons. And you remember, in the first half, their first 3 drives were touchdowns.
Right, exactly. So they're starting to slow down just a little. And Gratz defense starting to get a beat on what they're trying to do.
Caldwell hands it off inside. There to go. Great job by the Gratz defense.
Still not a bad play call.
Yeah, number 2, Nick Brown. Number 14, Nadir Carter.
Make them burn those timeouts. And if they get the ball back, drive the field.
Timeout called by Gratz. We'll keep it right here. And obviously the goal, if you're Franklin, you probably want to run. I mean, the textbook says you run the ball 3 times, make them use their timeout.
Right.
And then you punt it away.
Exactly.
However, I'm not always a big fan of the textbook.
Right.
So to me, 2nd down and 14 right here, I might be inclined to throw the ball and see what happens.
Just see what happens. You might catch him sleeping. You have to pick your poison. What's more important right now? And, converting this 1st down or making them burn these timeouts. So if they have another possession, they will have to drive the field and spike the ball or get out of bounds. So.
Right. Well, let's see what happens here. Loss of 4 on the play. Caldwell again in the shotgun, trips to the far side. Here we go. It's a screen. Oh, and Caldwell way overthrows his receiver. I believe that was Buffalo, his intended receiver. So now I said I wanted to see them throw the ball, but obviously that is the worst thing. Let me rephrase. That's the second worst thing.
Right.
And obviously the worst is 6.
Right.
But that saves a timeout for Gratz.
That saves a timeout, stops the clock, and puts you in a 3rd and long situation where you probably have to throw the ball, unless you're just going to run the ball just for sake of them burning another timeout. Big decisions to be made right now.
Let's see what happens. Caldwell's working out of the pistol again. Trips bunch. He's going to throw it. He's looking. He's going deep down the middle of the field, and it is caught by Rodriguez. 20, 10. That's going to be it. Touchdown, Franklin, and they're going to be the Public League 4A champions. What a play. And like I said, I wanted to see them air it out, and they caught Gratz sleeping, and they put the nail in the coffin.
Nail in the coffin.
Wow.
That's the way you go.
Is there any flags on the field? No, they put
No
the points
flags.
on the board. No flags.
You have to double check that now
You
after
really have
every
to
single
double-check.
play.
Yep. Caldwell airs it out. A 75-yard touchdown bomb from Caldwell to Rodriguez. They're going to set up for the extra point. Good snap, good hold. Kick is up. And it is good from Saka. 75-yard touchdown pass. Wow.
Back to a 2-possession game. Gratz fought hard and tough just to get it for opportunity at the end. Ben Franklin tried to run the clock out. They said, let's just do what best and chuck it up, see what happens.
That's what happened right there. Rodriguez ends up with his 3rd touchdown of the game. 1 by rushing, 2 by passing. And you can see the crowd starting to leave the stadium here a little bit on the home side. And it was a great fight by Simon Gratz. They fought back. They were in position to potentially win, tie it up a couple times. But unfortunately, Franklin and Kevin Caldwell too much for this Simon Gratz Bulldog team.
That's great poise in there to make that throw at this time of the game. We're seeing a display of 2 really good quarterbacks.
Javier Buffalo's going to be in to kick it off. He's going to try and kick it as deep as he can. And it's somewhat of a short kick. It's going to be fielded by Whitfield. Trying to go to the outside. Nice block. Whitfield cuts it back. He reverses field. Cuts it up the middle. Still on his feet. Finally brought down at around the 43-yard line. So not field position for Gratz. Now you're down 12. 1:45 remaining. Now you do have 2 timeouts left. In theory, if they score before it's a minute, they could get the onside kick, get it back, and give themselves a chance. But they've got to score very quickly.
This score has to come very quick. It's not over until it's over. So all those zeros are on the clock. So
now you think again that last bomb was the nail in the coffin, but stranger things have happened here, Eric.
you know it.
Ari Bluestein, Eric Clark here with you on SFBN Public League 4A Championship game. The winner will play St. Joseph's Prep. Ben Franklin trying to finish it off and get to that game, and Suleimani's pass is knocked down and incomplete. And I don't think they're going to get down the field very quickly with those halfback screens right there.
It needs to get vertical and very fast right now. And that pressure of Ben Franklin is getting closer and closer to taking him down.
And they're not even blitzing because they're dropping back about 5-6 guys in coverage right
That's
now.
just their front 4 applying pressure.
Yeah. Yeah, front 4 has been pretty good tonight for Franklin. They've put a lot of pressure on a Suleimani. Taj Clea, we talked about him. Keon Holman as well, Troy Conyers. Second and 10 for the Bulldogs. Trips bunch to the near side. Asuleimani again in the shotgun. Steps up in the pocket. He launches it, going deep for Bennett. And it is incomplete.
Great job with the Ben Franklin defenders double on that play.
Yeah, like we said, I mean, it's going to be almost impossible to throw it deep at this point because Franklin, especially because they're getting pressure from their front four, there's no reason to blitz.
Exactly. You might want to try to, take some shots in the middle of the field right now because that safety is getting, hash to hash pretty fast. Defense ends are pinning their ears and just going.
Third and 10. See if Gratz can potentially keep this drive going. Oh, and it's dropped by Amir Lewis. A lot of drops today for Simon Gratz.
That's right. Along with the penalties, Gratz has definitely put the ball on the carpet a few times, not by fumbles, but by some wide open drops.
Fourth down and 10 for Simon Gratz. Their last chance to keep this drive going. 1:32 remaining. Franklin gets this stop. It'll be definitely sealed. They're going to go and play St. Joe Prep next week. Shotgun, Asuleimani. He's got three receivers on the far side. Steps up in the pocket. Throws it up. It's going to be a jump ball. And it is incomplete. Incomplete, and that is going to be it. And right now, as Ben Franklin celebrates, they're going to win Public League 4A championship. We're going to give out our Lloyd Six-Smith Sporting Goods player of the game. And we have a couple of guys we could have given it to, but we got to give it to the guy slinging the ball for Ben Franklin, and that's Kevin Caldwell. There he is right there. Phenomenal night for him. He just launched a 75-yard bomb to Rafael Rodriguez. He's had a phenomenal day. He's one of the best quarterbacks in the city. And St. Joe Prep, they're going to have their hands full next week.
They're going to have their hands full. Just not one of the best quarterbacks in the city. I think that this guy should be a real candidate for Player of the Year in the whole state of Pennsylvania. I'm looking for a really good game next week. I know a lot of people are, looking at Ben Franklin as the underdogs. I think they
they will be, yes.
They will be because, St. Joe's Prep is the defending champs, and they have a lot of power on that team. A ton of Division I scholarship guys on that team. At the same time, they give you similar things that LaSalle give you in the passing game, but it's a little bit of a different attack and somewhat different athletes on the end of that receiving. And I'm looking forward to a good effort from Ben Franklin against St. Joe's Prep next week.
There's a handoff inside with a lot of room. And again, Kevin Caldwell was our Lloyd Six-Smith Sporting Goods player of the game. Lloyd Six-Smith Sporting Goods is the leading supplier of the Philadelphia Public League. Visit them today at 7554 Frankfort Avenue in Mayfair for all of your sporting goods needs as Simon Gratz calls a timeout. And, let's talk about that matchup a little bit more. Now, the one thing where I kind of stand is St. Joe Prep, they can score. They're going to be able to score on Franklin defense. As good as Brian Harvey is, as good as this Franklin defense has been tonight with Macho Rodriguez back there, the Prep is going to be able to score. However, Ben Franklin, I think they can score against St. Joe Prep. I don't know how much, but I think they can put up some points, and that might keep them in the game a little bit.
And that's the big thing. Caldwell gets rid of the ball so fast that I think you can somewhat eliminate a really good pass rush just due to the fact that, he gets rid of the ball so fast. John Reed is a very dominant defensive player over there at St. Joe's Prep, but Franklin spreads the ball around.
Yes,
so
they do.
It's 3-4 different guys.
Right, they can't just key on like Javier Buffalo. You have Rasheem Jones. You have the big Mike Kane.
He spreads the ball around. He doesn't just throw predominantly right or left. He has the whole arsenal. So with their style of play, where they can score in bunches and they can score in quick plays. They'll be able to score on St. Joe's Prep as well. It'll be a better game than I think a lot of people think.
And like we talked about earlier, Frankfurt gave St. Joe Prep
their toughest game last year.
Their toughest game. And we were calling that game here on SFBN. And, I was thinking that, would King in the 3A game.
Right.
And I was thinking, oh, man, we're going to have another blowout here. But Frankfurt hung right with them and gave St. Joe Prep a run for their money. A reminder, coming up next, we'll have the post-game report. Eric and I will have our final thoughts. I'm Ari Bluestein. Eric Clark, the defensive coordinator for the Northeast High School Vikings, joining me in the booth. A newbie to the broadcast world, doing a phenomenal job here today.
Thank you very much. I had a blast trying to shake these jitters in the beginning, but it's pretty fun. This is cool. You got a cool gig here, Ari.
Thank you very much. Thank you for being a part of it. Yeah,
thanks for having me.
We have a great crew here, and our next high school broadcast will be right back here for the Thanksgiving game on November 27th, Northeast First Central, the longest consecutive Thanksgiving Day game rivalry in the country.
Hey, if you haven't seen Thanksgiving football and you don't belong to one at your own school, make your way. It's definitely a treat, and it's definitely a good time. The horse is coming back to Northeast.
The wooden horse. Yeah. And for those of you who like college football, we'll actually be at Westchester next Saturday for a college football playoff game. So check our website, thesportsfanbasenetwork.com, for more information. And then, of course, we have our talk show on the Comcast Network, SFBN Talks High School Sports. We're going to talk about this game. We're going to talk about the Catholic League city title games. We'll talk about District 1 playoffs. We'll talk about South Jersey as well. That's all Wednesday at 6 p.m. on the Comcast Network. And as you see, Franklin, they're celebrating. And the time has expired here at Northeast High School's Charlie Martin Memorial Stadium. Your final score, Ben Franklin 36, Simon Gratz 24. The Electrons have won the Public League 4A championship, and they will play in the city title game next Saturday against St. Joseph's Prep. We're going to take one more time out. When we come back, we'll wrap it up, give you your final thoughts on this final game here in the Public League 4A level. Welcome back. Your final score as the teams line up. Ben Franklin 36, Simon Gratz 24. And it's the end of the season for the Simon Gratz Bulldogs. They only suffered one loss this year in total. And they just talk about Coach Eric Cepay's squad, first year in 4A as well. And, Musa, the quarterback, Asulamani, Luke White, both had phenomenal games. They can hold their heads up high.
Hey, I tip my hat off to this Gratz team. We actually took, the first-round loss to Gratz, and, they played a tough game. And that's how I know that these guys were mentally tough and mentally prepared as they fought, from behind all game. But just at the end of the game, they were in the game at the end of the game, and with a chance to win. They have a lot of skilled players leaving, but when you return your entire offensive line, they'll be a force to reckon with next year as well. They'll be a scary team. Those kids are only getting bigger. They're still
Luke White is back.
Luke White's back.
White's a junior.
So they'll be back in the mix. They'll be a team that Northeast and the rest of 4A is definitely keeping an eye on over there. And good season. Good season to those guys.
And I'm looking. Amir Lewis is a sophomore. Laquan Solomon, the best defensive player, he's a junior. Ken Bennett, he had that drop unfortunately at the end, but he's a good-looking sophomore wide receiver.
A lot of good young talent.
They've got a promising future. Yeah. They should hold their head up high. You think about Franklin, they graduated a lot of guys, so it was nice for these seniors. Kevin Caldwell, Javier Buffalo, this group. Yes, it was nice for them to win. Rafael Rodriguez.
Yes, yep. on a flip end, it was their time.
Right.
This program, have suffered a lot of 2 or 3 win seasons for a very long time and struggled. They had a group of seniors that they were supposed to do. They listened to Coach Carter and that Ben Franklin staff. Right. Coached up really, really well. They stuck to the script, and that's what happens when you do what your coaches say. You play hard. And it's a very senior group, and they'll have a chance, opportunity next week to make even more noise, against the perennial powerhouse, St. Joe's Prep.
Yeah, it should be a great game. Jaime Tony, want to give him a shout out as well. He had a pretty good game. He had the one fumble, but other than that, he had a good game. He's also a senior as well for Ben Franklin. And I want to give a shout out to the Comcast Network. Obviously, they host our show, and they're going to have a big doubleheader here at Northeast next week. 11:30 a.m. will be the 3A city title between Archbishop Wood and Imhotep Charter. Should be a monster bout. And the 4A game, it's David versus Goliath, but it should be a good game as well. Ben Franklin versus St. Joe Prep at 3:30 p.m. Make sure you watch that on Saturday on the Comcast Network. And again, coming up for us next Saturday on our Westchester portal, you can watch Westchester University football tackle in their first playoff game of the year. So make sure you watch that. The opponent is to be determined. And then we'll be back here at Northeast again on Thanksgiving 27th at 10:30 a.m. Northeast versus Central. Check our website. You see the website below. Check our website for listings. And again, one more reminder, the game today, I'm going to go back and watch the replay. I know you will, Eric.
I can't wait.
It will be on our on-demand page on our website. So for our crew today, our interns, Ricky Sayer, Anthony DeBundo, Ray Dunn, Steven Silvestro, Scott Weiss, Martin Weiss. Our director today is Josh Bellman. And Eric Clark, again, a phenomenal job here today.
Thank you so much for having me. Special thanks to the Sports Fan Base Network. I appreciate, you having me on and, enjoying, this great championship game. Both teams put a great job on for the show. Hopefully I'm down there on the field next year instead of up here in the booth with you.
Well, good luck in the Thanksgiving game. We'll be on the sideline for that.
Thank you very much.
So for my partner, Eric Clark, I'm Ari Bluestein. Thank you for watching, and everyone have a great rest of your weekend. Thank you for watching this edition of SFBN Classics. We hope you enjoyed that game. Please like our Facebook page and also follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and subscribe to our YouTube page. And for more information about us, go to www.thesfbn.com. I'm Ari Bluestein. Have a good night.